en este mundial, estaba de reserva en esta distancia, la short trail, y bueno, pues finalmente no ha habido ninguna baja entre los atletas que estaban seleccionados y bueno, pues va a haber bueno, pues no va a haber cumplido ese sueño a lo mejor de haber disputado este mundial, pero bueno, desde aquí le mandamos un abrazo enorme y a seguir pues mejorando, porque es un grandísimo corredor de montaña y aquí en Canfranc tiene su casa.
Sí, bueno, al final yo me uno, ¿no?, a tus palabras, evidentemente. Yo creo que a todo el mundo que tenemos una relación estrecha o directa con Canfranc, pues nos hubiese encantado también poder ver a Raúl Criado, un hombre que se sabe y tiene contadas todas las piedras. Es decir, que aquí él, pues bueno, realmente es su casa, es su paraíso, y bueno, que tenemos que decir de Raúl que le hemos visto crecer entre estos montes y que este año sí se quitó la espinita, pudiendo ya ganar de una vez esta Canfranc que la tenía siempre entre ceja y ceja.
Sí, y podemos ver ahí, nos muestran nuestros compañeros las imágenes aéreas de la estación de Canfranc, donde está ubicada tanto la salida como la meta de las carreras que quedan, y ese edificio restaurado y que se ha recuperado ahora como un hotel desde el cual estamos emitiendo este streaming, y que realmente es una gozada verlo recuperado y que, bueno, pues que haya vuelto a su esplendor, ¿no? Era un edificio que estaba abandonado y se ha vuelto a recuperar otra vez esta estación de tren de Canfranc, ¿no? Y yo creo que es un orgullo para todos.
Estamos a menos de 2 minutos para que sean las 8 de la mañana. Esto es lo que todo el mundo hispanohablante puede estar ahora mismo visualizando en sus pantallas. Les animamos a que comenten en el YouTube. La verdad es que ahí podemos estar dando ya más información acerca de todo lo que está ocurriendo. Si tenéis alguna duda, alguna pregunta, Oye, ¿hasta dónde vamos a subir hoy? Pues bueno, lo más alto que vamos a subir hoy son los 2.500 de la muleta. Cositas, preguntas que vamos a intentar también, a medida de lo posible, en el día de hoy, una retransmisión un pelín ya más larga que ayer, con cierta más tranquilidad, si me permitís. Ayer ya sabéis que iba todo, pues bueno, muy enlatado, muy justo, con las salidas y bueno, con las llegadas en esa raca, que por cierto hoy de nuevo podréis estar, si os habéis quedado con ganas, en la raca. Bien, lo que decía, falta un minutito ya para que sean las 8. No sé si queréis apuntar alguna cosilla más. En breve vamos a estar ya repasando, pues bueno, los corredores y corredoras más destacados en esta mañana, que no sé yo si les los tendrán ahí colocados o no. La verdad es que va a estar complejo hoy, ¿eh?
Sí, pero bueno, intentaremos haceros un poco de presentación. Los van a colocar a favoritos en esa parte delantera del pelotón. Veremos si podemos haceros una pequeña presentación de esos corredores, porque desde luego va a ser para tenerlos en cuenta. Ahí tenemos, por ejemplo, al italiano Luca Del Pero, que está ahí bebiendo de ese Soflash. Es un corredor pues con muchísima experiencia, ha sido bronce en los campeonatos mundiales de Innsbruck en esta distancia y desde luego es de los que puede estar optando al podio.
Tenemos ahí también a nuestros compañeros, a Antonio Martín.
Zipizape, permíteme.
Y a Blanes.
Con mucho cariño a los Donil, que son de mi tierra.
Sí, también con experiencia en campeonatos del mundo, Antonio, aunque desde 2019 no se ponía la camiseta de la selección, pero bueno, pues es un experto ya en estas distancias y también va a estar peleando muy adelante.
Bueno, vamos en nada a estar pendientes porque vamos a arrancar, que quedan ya nada. Prácticamente estamos esperando que los jueces también nos puedan decir el ok, para que nuestros compañeros, los speakers, en este caso Borja y Rubén, bueno, pues puedan lanzar ya la carrera en el día de hoy de esta short, de esta 44,5 kilómetros con 3.600 positivos, en el lugar emblemático, en el lugar que dio a conocer este Canfranc, la carrera que ahora mismo, bueno, pues tenemos que hablarle de doña, ya con esta carrera. Ahora sí, todo presto y dispuesto, vemos que pasa un minuto de las 8, atención, vamos a arrancar. Hoy en Liza tenemos a todos los mejores corredores y corredoras del momento, se echan mano al pulsómetro. Atención, estamos en nada con la salida, pistola arriba, y ahora en breve ¡arranca! Ahora sí, el campeonato del mundo en esta short race, 45 kilómetros por delante, muchas horas. Hay gente que aún pues eso, nos brinda simpatía, ¿no? Empezando ya a rodar por la estación de Canfranc, estación renovada. Vemos por delante al bueno de Blanes. Y sonrío porque esto me parece ya que se va a producir lo mismo que en Cegama, ¿no? Sí. Bueno, ahí tenemos ya a Blanes, que sigue tirando de valiente, otro de los hombres que hoy, bueno, sabemos perfectamente que es todo un método. Ahí tenemos a la derecha, Antoñico también lo podemos ver.
Sí, ahora tienen un kilómetro de salida por Canfranc. Ahí vemos cómo salen del entorno de la estación. Van a ir recorriendo un tramo de carretera cruzando toda la localidad, por esa, además en ligera bajada, por lo que es fácil bueno, pues, que se aceleren un poquito, casi 1 kilómetro, y a la salida de Canfranc estación girarán a la izquierda para tomar una pista ya de tierra que les llevará a un sendero en breves, y ahí ya empieza la subida dura, desde el principio al 10% o más.
Bueno, hemos visto en primera, creo que es la que está ahora mismo por la derecha adelantando, ese pedazo que siempre le digo, creo que es María Fuentes, si no nos equivocamos, otra de las mujeres, por cierto, ¿sabéis que ella empezó en aquello fue, no sé si campeona de España de aquatlón? Hace bastante, era una mujer que lo de nadar se le daba muy bien y lo de correr, pues bueno, evidentemente la ves correr y es como ver a este hombre en pantalla desde Onil, que orgullosos de buen estar en la terreta. Es el hombre que hoy de momento acapara las miradas, minuto y medio, estamos ahora mismo saliendo de Canfranc estación y lo que decía Pablo, en breve nos meteremos, creo que tiene que pasar toda la parte de la carrera para luego ya meterse a mano izquierda, sí. Pero ya sabéis que hoy este hombre viene como sin gafas.
Sí, sí.
Y una cosa que es interesante, muchos de los corredores y corredoras que están hoy aquí vienen de la orientación.
Sí.
Blanes, Antonio Martín,
Judith
Weider, o sea sí. Que es como una transición, ¿no? Que...
Muchos no, pero algunos de los favoritos, la verdad es que ese trasvase de corredores desde disciplinas de orientación, en los que ya eran muy buenos, ¿no? Estamos hablando que tanto Tobe como Judith Weider tienen títulos mundiales en orientación o medallas en Campeonato del Mundo. Antonio y Blanes también han estado en esos Campeonatos del Mundo en posiciones delanteras, top 10, top 15 en alguna ocasión. Bueno, pues ahí hay una, ¿cómo se diría?, ¿no? Una transferencia positiva de la orientación, de correr por montaña, por terrenos técnicos al trail. Y ahí vemos cómo giran a la izquierda para tomar ya esa pista de tierra en la que, bueno, pues se irá estrechando hasta que, bueno, lleguen al sendero que les inicie esa subida a la raca con también muchas zetas, pero bueno, en su vida se gestionan mucho más.
Oye, permitidme que diga una frase más en mi idioma, valencians en peu al seuse. Esto es emocionante para todo el mundo, evidentemente, pero ver a uno de los nuestros ahí adelante tirando de esta manera, la verdad es que yo creo que no se va a dejar nada en el tintero. Él ha dicho, en este caso Blanes, que no era la carrera de sus sueños por el perfil, por el trazado, pero que no obstante... Él había puesto toda la carne en el asador. Ahí tenemos aficionados con la bandera española que pueden disfrutar. Oye, no estoy seguro si realmente es María Fuentes la primera fémina que teníamos ahí adelante, porque en las últimas imágenes yo estaba dudando directamente. Por cierto que la equipación, evidentemente, tiene que ser la propia, la misma, con lo cual el pelazo me puede llevar a equívoco, ¿eh?
Y tenemos ahí en ese grupito a Stian, que ya va metido ahí en el centro. Y llama la atención, como siempre, todos los corredores liberados y Merillas con sus bastones.
Sí. Sí, no sé si hablaba de muchos bastones. Hombre, hay alguna subida, la subida a la raca, desde luego con bastones se puede hacer bastante bien. Y las últimas dos subidas, aunque son más cortitas, también ayuda bastante. Aquí en la Moleta, toda la zona de bosque es interesante, pero cada atleta tiene su estrategia, tiene su habilidad con el uso de bastones y decidirá.
Y hay que reconocer que además Merillas en el uso de bastones yo creo que es una de las personas que mejor he visto utilizar los bastones. O sea, tiene una maestría y es verdad que sí que le dan, al igual que a lo mejor a otra gente le puede restar. En el caso de Merillas es verdad que es una persona a la que, bueno, pues le suman, ¿no? En ningún momento le restan.
Bueno, tenemos comentarios, si os parece, en el YouTube, que la gente va escribiendo, va diciendo, Andreu es muy valiente, nos dice Alberto González. También tenemos más ánimos por parte de Ramón, que prácticamente lo mismo, vinga Andreu ànims. Este chico sale siempre a todo gas, es lo que dice Carl. Tenemos también, dice, toda mi fuerza para Nicolás Medina. Aguante. Es Jaime Romo Santa María. Andreu Blanes va por todas desde el kilómetro 0. También saludos desde Ecuador. Vamos Manu, dicen por aquí. También desde Chile, en la última bajada, ¿se puede recortar o está balizado expresamente para evitar atajos? Esta es una buena pregunta.
Sí, si queréis, ¿vale? Luego hablaremos de ello porque ha habido además bastante debate en la reunión técnica ayer que se celebró aquí en Canfranc para decidir un poquito, bueno, explicar un poco cómo iba a ser pues esos los criterios un poco a la hora de trazar esa zona de curvas que es esa bajada tan larga.
Aquí hay que rascar, ¿eh? En esta pregunta, la repito, ¿en la última bajada se puede recortar o está balizada expresamente para evitar atajos? Más de 100 curvas.
Si te sirve de referencia,
muy heavy,
algunos de las personas con las que hemos hablado que se ocupan precisamente del marcaje de la carrera nos han dicho, parece un cross la bajada. O sea que yo creo que está bastante acotada para evitar, pues eso, que haya a lo mejor unos recortes excesivos en las curvas, porque al final son 122 zetas en las que bueno, pues los corredores pueden a lo mejor recortar en muchas de ellas.
También pasaba Bruno. Diego Toledano dice, ganas de ver de rápido cómo suben a la Moleta, que es una subida bastante corrible para gente de este nivel. Esperando que tengan también el crono en una mano. Mucho ánimo con esa retransmisión y que vaya bien. Ese es Diego Toledano. Riu Teixeira, Bay, son también otros de los hombres. Gonzalo Raimundo nos van escribiendo. ¿No tenéis info de quién sale a última hora? ¿Sale la keniana Kimutai? Parece que ni Maud Matisse ni Lebov salen por Suiza. ¿Se sabe algo? ¿Por qué? También vamos a dar información acerca de estos dos nombres que evidentemente también tienen la mirada, bueno, acaparada, ¿no?, de todo el mundo. Vamos, Nacho Reyes nos dice también desde Argentina. Dale, Ana.
Sí, no solamente comentar que creo que la que va primero es Jessica Jason de Australia.
Sí que podría ser, claro que sí.
Y hemos visto también movimientos, no sé si habéis dado cuenta, justo antes de la llegada al inicio del sendero, que es donde se estrecha, prácticamente tienen que ir los corredores de uno en uno. Ha habido un movimiento bastante agresivo del italiano Magnini, otro de los favoritos, un corredor espectacular, y se ha puesto rápidamente ahí en cabeza de ese grupo perseguidor de nuestro Andreu Blanes, pues para lanzar la carrera en ese tramo que sabía que iba a ser más estrecho, que se iba a tener que correr de uno en uno. Entonces aquí vemos que como cada corredor pues intenta buscar su estrategia, su situación en el grupo. Hay un grupo todavía muy amplio de corredores, veremos cómo va evolucionando ese esfuerzo en esta subida, pero le vemos a todos prácticamente todavía corriendo en esa zona de pista que ya pica bastante para arriba, y en ese sendero que vemos zigzagueante que bueno, les llevará hasta la cota, hasta 2.500 metros de altitud.
¿Cómo pica eso? ¿Cómo duele? Bueno, mira, una conocida
también... pasaste tú ayer, ¿eh?
Bueno, yo pasé muy lejos, sí. Pablo. Di la verdad. Que decía que Ana Tauste, una buena conocedora también de este terreno, dice, buenos días a todos, hoy huele a medalla. Y bueno, me escribe elogios, pero es que, Ana, te digo lo mismo, tú también hablas muy bien y cuando te entrevistamos, como que no le gusta, ¿sabes? Pero ella es muy, pero que muy exquisita. Bueno, más cositas desde Argentina y también nos dan saludos. Claudio Villarreal. Tenemos también Vamos España, Francisco Javier Hernández, hombre, otro saludo, Vamos España, Sergio Cuartas. En la última bajada se puede recordar más de lo mismo, ¿vale? Con lo cual, bueno, ahí tenemos esa pregunta y termino con se viene Manuel Merillas, Mario Treviño, y ánimo a todos y gracias a los que hacen posible esta fantástica retransmisión. Es Íñigo Redín, así que muchísimas gracias. Estamos en las 8 casi y 9. Llevamos 8 minutos, 30 segundos de carrera.
Sí, vamos a ir apuntando preguntas porque tenemos, como bien decías tú, Jaime, compañeros en el YouTube, ¿no?, donde tenemos a Vicente Capitán, que nos comenta cómo puede afectar la altitud, bueno, a los nuestros y en general a todos los corredores, ¿no? Entonces yo creo que es interesante, ¿no, Pablo? Tú que conoces bien...
Sí, yo para que en esta prueba, por ejemplo, en esta subida, sobre todo que se superan los 2.000 metros de altitud, pues bueno, es una carga extra, ¿no? No es que en ningún momento el corredor se encuentre mal o se encuentre que no le llega al aire, pero sí que es cierto que esa altitud pues hace que la fatiga se acelere, pero bueno, la mayoría de los corredores que hayan preparado este campeonato probablemente han estado entrenando en altitudes similares, haciendo entrenamientos por montañas en torno a entre los 1.500, 2.000, 2.500 metros, por lo tanto la mayoría vienen muy entrenados, por lo menos lo suficiente para no notar ese hándicap de la altitud, ¿no? Que a lo mejor una persona pues que no lleve tanto entrenamiento, pues se hace una ruta aunque sea andando, y cuando llega a estas alturas a partir de 2.000, 2.500 metros, pues sí que puede notar ahí un poquito más esa falta de oxígeno. Y ahí vemos esa distancia que lleva Andreu ahora mismo, que bueno, pues no, desde luego no es importante, pero bueno, también le ayuda a correr con tranquilidad. Yo creo que él lo que busca también es llevar su ritmo en su vida. Esta subida es muy larga, va alternando diferentes porcentajes de pendiente. Hay zonas que son un poquito más cómodas, zonas en las que la pendiente pica mucho más, y yo creo que yendo él en solitario ahí delante pues va más cómodo y va regulando su esfuerzo, ¿no? Cuando uno va metido en el grupo pues te obligas, tienes que ir al ritmo que te va marcando el grupo, ¿no? Y a veces puedes ir un poquito más asfixiado. Vemos a Magnini en primera posición marcando ahí, Merillas en cuarta posición, y es un grupo de pues unos 7 corredores que están todos los favoritos, o sea que todavía vendrá más gente que haya tenido una estrategia más conservadora, como sabemos que suele hacer, por ejemplo, Antonio, pero bueno, está claro que los de adelante ya están con el cuchillo entre los dientes.
Si os parece, voy repasando también más cosillas. Hoy parece que el YouTube está muy animado. Nos decía, vamos Joao Narváez, él es Valentín, vamos Marina, vamos Uruguay, también de Regurchi, vamos Joao Narváez, también muchos ánimos desde Dean para Malasia. Madre mía, qué salida, ojalá aguante Andreu, es lo que dice Robert, Iván López, qué bien streaming de momento, va a tope Andreu, Javier Barber, Juan Luis, los españoles llevan semanas entrenando en la zona, ya están acostumbrados a la altitud. También lo podemos hablar a continuación. Vamos a Argentina, Julián Morales. ¿Habrá explosiones hoy? Es lo que dice el San Martín. Con lo cual, todo esto y mucho más en el YouTube. La verdad es que
tenemos a la primera chica. Está pasando ahí la primera corredora femenina. Dorsal 2540.
Sí, yo creo que es...
Vamos a ver
25-40 es Teresa.
Yo diría que es Teresa.
Sí, Teresa Horchova.
Y claro, con el pedazo suelto parece... De lejos ves la coleta y dices, bueno, me la juego.
Sí. Bueno, pues es la que ha salido con más ganas. Ahora seguro que vendrán más corredoras siguiendo esa estela, que vemos un reguero continuo de corredores. Estamos en los primeros... Ni 15 minutos llevamos de prueba. Entre categoría masculina y categoría femenina estamos hablando de casi 300 corredores que han tomado la salida en Canfranc, y ahora en estos primeros compases, además en un terreno pues bueno, que es exigente, pero que se deja correr y todavía las fuerzas están a tope, pues les permiten ir avanzando a muy buen ritmo en esta subida, que vamos viendo en esas zetas cómo se inclina la pendiente, el terreno, pues aunque sea agradable para correr, pero no deja de tener sus raíces, sus piedras, sus baches. Hay que tener bastante cuidado, y ya lo veréis luego si tenemos imágenes de la bajada cuando culminen en la Moleta, que es una bajada súper técnica. Esa primera bajada hasta el Ibón de Yeserías y hasta que regrese luego hacia la zona de Canfranc por el canal Roya.
Vale, y tenemos también en el YouTube a Belén Pérez Ribeiro, que estuvo corriendo aquí hace 2 semanitas en Canfranc, hizo una buena carrera, pero es verdad que tenía por delante a Tove Alexanderson, que bueno, fue lo que marcó la diferencia, ¿no? Pero bueno, manda muchos ánimos al equipo español, y ahí tenemos hablando de ella.
Sí.
Ahí la teníamos.
Aquí sabe lo que tiene que hacer. Yo creo que ahí va a ir guardando un poquito fuerzas. Oye, a mí me gustaría que pudiésemos tener unos minutos ahora que podemos hablar un poquito más profundamente de las personas más destacadas que teníamos también en esa línea de salida, si os parece, y podemos ir repasando. No me quiero dejar en ningún momento, que hasta ahora no le hemos casi pronunciado, a Roberto de Lorenzi, al suizo, que bueno, viene de distancias más cortas, pero que ya en el año 2024... firmó, pues bueno, yo creo que un gran año, ¿no? Fue campeón de Europa en la distancia Classic en Nancy, y bueno,
sí,
este 2025
ha estado compitiendo en distancias más largas, más parecido a lo que es Short Trail.
Correcto.
Y bueno, no ha tenido tan buenos resultados como a lo mejor en 2024, que prácticamente casi cada carrera era una victoria o un podio seguro. Pero bueno, es un atleta a tener en cuenta.
Podemos decir que es el paso natural, evidentemente. Pasas otra distancia mayor, pues bueno, hay que empezar ya también a regular y a ver otras cosas que igual en las carreras más cortas pues no tiene tanta importancia, ¿no? Por ejemplo, también nos hemos dejado, bueno, tenemos ahí, mira, líder, tercera clasificada, sí. Segunda Tove Alexanderson, primera es Teresa Horchova.
Y otra atleta también hemos visto pasar femenina. Ahora seguro que vendrán ahí más pegaditas entre los chicos, y bueno, entre esos favoritos pues también tenemos
ahí, acabamos de ver a Sara
Alonso, pues en ese top 5, cuarta, quinta corredora. No sé si ha pasado antes una atleta también, y bueno, pues todos los favoritos que teníamos aquí anotados pues están desde luego cumpliendo ese papel, ¿no?
Acaba de pasar Grayson, me parece, también.
Sí, un grupo de 3.
Si queréis decimos un poco también las chicas que teníamos aquí apuntadas. Claro. Judy Wader, bueno, pues una atleta, como os he dicho antes, que viene también del mundo de la orientación, que ya pues acumula 2 platas en campeonatos del mundo. Fue en la Short de Dubai, consiguió la medalla en esta distancia, y en el Campeonato de Europa de Annecy, pero en distancia más corta, en la Classic, también fue medalla de plata. No sé si vendrá aquí a Canfranc a por el oro.
Y luego tenemos también a Clementine Geoffrey, que es quien defiende el título de Innsbruck, y fue oro también en los Campeonatos de Europa de Annecy en el 2024. Y hay que decir que viene, teníamos ahí también a Malenosa, que viene del kayak, ¿no? Es gracioso, ¿no? Como, bueno, hay muchas corredoras, ¿no? Que comienzan quizás su carrera deportiva en otras especialidades y dan el paso a...
Bueno, el trail running tiene todavía ese puntito, ¿no? Es un deporte muy nuevo y que sirve un poco de trasvase o de segundo deporte para muchos deportistas que vienen de otras modalidades de resistencia, ¿no? Hemos hablado de orientación. Ayer vimos a Remy Bonet, que viene del mundo del esquí, del esquí de montaña, del esquimo, y hay otros corredores que, bueno, pues vienen del mundo de la bici de montaña, de los rides, o sea, que todavía es un deporte tan joven que permite pues ese trasvase de otros deportes. Probablemente dentro de unos años pues hablaremos ya de corredores que toda su vida su única modalidad o su modalidad principal haya sido el trail running, ¿no? Desde jóvenes.
Bueno, cuarta clasificada, Sara Alonso, podemos decir muchísimas cosas sobre ella. Lo principal podríamos destacar que es su primera vez en el Mundial, Campeonato del Mundo, y que, bueno, las miradas también están metidas en esta joven que la verdad es que viene a hacer, pues bueno, un carrerón, ¿no? En la Cegama Izcorri, y la hemos visto cuarta, no sé si más reservona, no sé qué táctica utilizar. La verdad es que ayer yo no me la he cruzado, no he podido saber mucho más de Sara, pero es otra de las mujeres a tener muy en cuenta en el día de hoy.
Bueno, es verdad que tenemos un combinado español con bastante fuerza, porque tenemos también ahí a Ollana, que ya conoce perfectamente el recorrido. De hecho, hasta hace 15 días era quien tenía el récord de la prueba. Y Malenosa también está acostumbrada mucho a correr en esta zona, ¿no? Entonces tenemos dentro del equipo español gente que conoce muy bien el recorrido y que probablemente, bueno, pues sepan cómo gestionarlo y sepan cómo manejarlo.
Sí, si queréis luego, bueno, si hablamos en algún momento de opciones de medalla, yo creo que hoy la principal opción de medalla, más allá de que podamos tener una alegría a nivel individual, es sobre todo el equipo femenino, ¿no? Yo creo que bueno, pues hemos estado revisando la documentación y a nivel de nivel deportivo, pues prácticamente va a ser una pelea la clasificación por equipos, si todo va bien, entre Francia y España, ¿no? Hay otros equipos potentes, por supuesto, que van a estar peleando por meterse en ese podio, como los Estados Unidos, Rumanía, Suiza, Italia, pero claramente Francia y España son los equipos a batir en categoría femenina. En categoría masculina es incluso es difícil. Nosotros apostaremos por lo nuestro, pero tenemos ahí 4 equipos con un nivel de corredores que te pones a hablar uno a uno de cada uno de ellos y es que es impresionante, ¿no? Tenemos a Francia, Italia, Estados Unidos y nuestro equipo español también, que es que tienen un nivel medio increíble. Entonces, bueno, va a estar en un pañuelo, pero son 4 equipos muy potentes. Esperemos que los nuestros pues cosechen un buen resultado y puedan estar en ese podio también por equipos, pero las chicas lo tienen más a mano en esa pelea un poco más tú a tú con Francia.
Bueno, acabas de decir Francia, Thomas Caguin, el atleta francés que acumula también 2 medallas europeas en esta distancia, ¿no? Sí, y fue campeón de Europa y también estuvo en el paso, eso hace, nada, pues 3 años, en el 2022, donde fue bronce, y y los mundiales se le han resistido hasta ahora. La verdad es que no ha tenido ahí, bueno, yo creo que tiene la espinita, ¿no? 16º fue en Innsbruck, y 6º fue en Chiang Mai, y bueno, en el día de hoy a ver también qué es lo que puede ofrecer el francés.
Sí, ha sido un corredor más de europeos, pero bueno, tiene esta oportunidad de poder hacer aquí un buen resultado, aunque también hay que decirlo que a nivel individual, pues un poco el enemigo a batir es Estian, ¿no? Ya lo has comentado antes, es el doble campeón del mundo de short trail, tanto en Chiang Mai como en Dubai, y bueno, pues está de vuelta y las competiciones que ha hecho este año, pues ha demostrado que está a muy buen nivel. No sé si al nivel que estaba en esos años para poder retener ese título y más viendo el plantel de corredores que hay en esta prueba, pero bueno, a priori ha salido adelante.
Y además, sin lugar a dudas, es uno de los hombres que perfectamente desde el primer momento está siempre en las quinielas. La experiencia también es un grado, con lo cual Stian es evidentemente una ficha que en cualquier momento se te puede poner delante. Bueno, estábamos viendo en estas zetas la diferencia que está marcando ya Andreu frente a sus oponentes. Yo creo que va tirando con cierta tranquilidad, pero les ha dado aún unos metros más de...
Sí, pero bueno, le tienen ahí vemos ahí en esta zona, bueno, al final en subida el ritmo es más lento, puede parecer que están ahí al lado, se ven seguramente que le estarán viendo porque en esa zona pues hay visibilidad para ver quién va por la siguiente Z, pero no dejan de ser a lo mejor unos 15-20 segundos de diferencia, ¿no? Pero bueno, lo que te he dicho, yo no creo realmente que Andreu quiera romper la carrera, sino que él lo que quiere es llevar su ritmo, sabe cómo es esta subida, seguro la conoce, han estado entrenando por aquí, sabe que es una subida en la que, bueno, pues es importante no pasar ese punto de esfuerzo, ir relativamente cómodo y sobre todo que la parte final se endurece muchísimo. Hay ese último kilómetro, por así decirlo, de subida, cuando pasa la pista del Carretón, que quedan unos 500 metros de nivel, se hace prácticamente en 1,5 kilómetros y ahí sí que les vamos a ver probablemente andar a los corredores porque la dureza de esa parte final de la subida es muy grande y hay que guardar fuerzas. No porque no puedan, probablemente si se pusieran podrían subir corriendo, pero claro, es que les queda todavía después prácticamente casi 40 kilómetros.
Bueno, después estaba pensando yo, que igual mucha gente no lo sabe, pero luego contaré la historia de amor con Antoñico y con Andreu, que no me remonto hace muchos años. Ahora luego daré también un poco de información acerca de todo ello y de la relación que también tienen estos dos hombres con la orientación, ¿no?
Si queréis repasamos un poquito los y las corredoras de habla hispana que están corriendo. Que recordemos que también tenemos a un montón de gente siguiendo a través del YouTube las carreras. Y por Argentina tenemos a Roxana Paola Flores, a Emilia Giustanini, a Fernanda Erika Martínez y a María Soledad Sánchez Ruiz. Por Bolivia tenemos a Sonia Chuve, a Rosalía Huachaga y a Juana Montaño. Por Brasil tenemos a Leticia da Silva y Franchelli Renata. En Chile, a Leonor Calvo, Janet Cayuqueo y Paola Nayal. Y a Dominga Villarino. Por Colombia, Sofía Alfonso y Ana María Pineda. Por Ecuador, a Blanca Maribel Yumiringa y a Marta Cecilia Pesante.
Bueno, van abriéndose ahora ya los huecos entre los corredores que van formando grupitos.
Por Paraguay tenemos a Mercedes Estigarribia Rumilda Mongelos.
Habría también ahí con otro italiano, con Pupi, que poco hemos hablado de él, pero que también lo tenemos colocado junto a Luca del Pero. Y no sé si nos queda alguno más por repasar. A nivel
Uruguay, Lucía Carrizo, Pilar Fernández y María Inés Regusi. Y por Ecuador, Alejandrina Villacres y Liliana Susquillo.
Antoñico pasaba junto a Molina, otro de los jóvenes, Nico, que poco hemos hablado de él, pero él siempre trabaja en silencio. Y cuando digo que trabaja
en Santa María también, que bueno, sabéis que corrió ayer la uphill, la subida vertical, esperemos que eso pues tampoco le pase mucha fatiga, pero desde luego pues ha salido con a lo mejor un ritmo un poquito más conservador, sí, consciente de que bueno, pues que ayer gastó algo de energía y tiene que guardar un poco para la maratón, o sea, para la short race.
Oye, si os parece, os cuento ya la historia de amor.
Venga, va.
¿Vale? Para toda aquella gente de Latinoamérica que igual no sabe, ¿no? Que estas dos personas, tanto Andreu Blanes como Antonio Martínez, desde la orientación, hace ya bastantes años de ello, y bien jovencillos, rodaban muchísimo. Y cuando digo rodaban, era viajar, que para su edad yo creo que son de los pocos que han podido viajar con la selección, en este caso de orientación. La cuestión es que en aquella época, estamos ahora, mira, fíjate, subiendo lo que es la moleta, y ahí estaríamos a mitad. Bueno, decía que en aquella época, nosotros en Valencia teníamos una revista que era Sense Limits y teníamos un seguimiento bastante exhaustivo de todos los deportes de aventura. Entre ellos, la orientación también estaba. Y lo que vengo a deciros es que siempre nos decían aquello de estos dos chavales, que eran como el Zipi y el Zape, siempre iban juntos a todas las carreras. Pues bueno, esos dos chavales iban creciendo. Y a medida que iban creciendo, evidentemente, cosechando títulos internacionales. Cuando digo títulos, entiéndanme. con una cierta edad, muy jóvenes, viajando, no sé, me da igual, hasta cualquier, ahora mismo Noruega, pues bueno, sería uno de los puntos, Suecia, bueno, la cuestión es que en Europa tenemos muchos lugares donde la orientación está en boga. La cuestión es que mucha gente conocida de estos dos hombres nos decían, pues algún día probarán el trail. Y eso, claro, dentro de lo que era el circuito de los deportes de aventura, pues nos movía, ¿no? Aquello de combinar deportes. Hasta que empezaron en la Comunidad Valenciana a, fuera de su calendario de orientación, a probar de vez en cuando alguna prueba de trail. Claro, allá donde iban, arrasaban, eran dos chiquillos y arrasaban. Y con el tiempo, evidentemente, pues han pasado más de 10, 12, 15 años y ahora mismo los tenemos a un nivelón, evidentemente, internacional, tanto a Ander Oulanes como a Antonio Martínez, y la verdad es que es una historia de amor con ellos, de respeto y sobre todo de amistad, que es lo que ellos tienen de toda la vida. Dos personas del mismo pueblo, en este caso Onil, por cierto, ¿sois moros o cristianos? Y la verdad es que el pueblo de Onil debe estar, bueno, orgullosísimo. De aquí también les mando un saludo porque tenemos allí a mucha gente conocida. Sin ir más lejos, desde aquí un abrazo para el Ferrari de Onil. Allí hay muchos deportistas, hijos. En Onil yo no sé lo que hacen, ni cómo lo hacen, pero allí tenemos absolutamente un plantel más que espectacular. Bueno, coleta al viento, Pelazo.
Me vais a perdonar un segundito, que habíamos dejado, me faltaban por repasar, Inés Gómez, Ana Carolina Oliveira, Ana Paula Rodríguez, Patricia Serafín y Paola Soares, que vienen por Portugal.
Ok. Bueno, hay mucho movimiento en el YouTube, en este caso, Argentina, Colombia, nos están escribiendo bastante, luego también seguiremos repasando, y si queréis ahora mismo podemos también repasar, bueno, esa pregunta, ¿no?, de qué pasa con las suizas.
Pues las suizas no tenemos información de si tienen algún problema físico, sí que hay que decir que ayer Mau de Matís corrió la uphill y sí que es verdad que pudimos comentar que no la veíamos quizás con muy buenas sensaciones, ¿no? Bueno, simplemente nos han informado esta mañana que tanto ella como Teresa no tomaban la salida. Y bueno, pues esperemos que no tengan ningún problema. Y vemos ahí en
a Tobe
pantalla,
ya a la espalda de Horchova, de la atleta checa, o sea, ya está casi en cabeza de la prueba, ¿no?
Yo, o sea, hace 2 semanas disfrutamos muchísimo de Tobe y hoy, ya te digo, puede pasar pues que si, vamos, ojalá, ¿no? No queremos que haya ningún percance a nivel físico, evidentemente. No. Ya es claro, hablando de Tobe, ¿te acuerdas del leñazo que se dio hace 2 semanas? Para la gente que no lo sepa,
en la bajada de la
Tobe
Raca.
Alexanderson, correcto, en la bajada de la Raca, se metió un buen piñazo y se abrió la ceja. Además que tuvo que estar 20 minutos en la enfermería, la carrera avanzaba, aún así quedó segunda de la general y
batió el récord femenino de la...
Correcto, que lo tenía Ollana, y la verdad es que fue hace 2 semanas un auténtico espectáculo. Por cierto, también estaba con nosotros Ida Nilsson, que también vinieron juntas para probar el recorrido y bueno, conocer un poquito más in situ lo que son estos montes de Canfranc.
Es verdad que de Tobe no hemos comentado nada y bueno, pues hay que decir que la atleta sueca es lo más en los deportes de resistencia, acumula títulos mundiales en 4 modalidades, en orientación, esquimo orientación en esquí running, es decir, realmente en Suecia es una de las deportistas más importantes del país. Y bueno, es verdad que el otro día nosotros ya contábamos en la salida, ¿no?, que iba a ser evidentemente una de las atletas destacadas en esa carrera, pero desde luego no esperábamos ni muchísimo menos el carrerón que nos regaló, como bien comentabais, ¿no?, que estuvo disputando hasta que tuvo ese pequeño percance con el récord masculino de nuestro compañero Thibaut, que le tenemos aquí en el streaming en francés. Y bueno, evidentemente tenemos la duda de cómo habrá recuperado, ¿no?, pero la vemos ahí en una segunda posición, se conoce el recorrido y esperemos que podamos disfrutar de una bonita carrera con ella.
Sí, Tobe nos contó ese día pues que bueno, pues estaban entrenando por aquí por la zona de Canfranc, reconociendo el recorrido y se enteró, oye, que hay una carrera este fin de semana y es sobre el recorrido de la prueba que vas a hacer tú de la short trail en el Mundial. Dice, ay, ¿me puedo apuntar? Pues sí, y ahí que fue. Pero claro, cualquiera que piense eso dirá, bueno, pues va a ver el recorrido, irá tranquilamente, tampoco irá... Y mira, ahí vemos cómo acaba de ponerse en cabeza. Y nada de eso, o sea, salió en cabeza de carrera, prácticamente se puso en primera posición antes de la Raca y bueno, lo único que sufrió esa caída bajando la Raca que lo obligó a estar casi 20 minutos en la ambulancia, que lo estuvieron teniendo que coser, poner varios puntos en la zona de la ceja, lo que le hizo perder tiempo, bastante tiempo, pero bueno, nos dejó a todos muy impresionados y como ha dicho Ana, pues veremos si es capaz de haber recuperado y asimilado ese esfuerzo que hizo hace justo 20 días. Pero vamos, desde luego por ahora su intención es disputar el Mundial. Además va a ser muy bonito porque hace 2 años en Dubái fue segunda. Pocas veces esta mujer pues le han mojado la oreja, por así decirlo, y precisamente la estadounidense
Grayson
Murphy fue la que fue campeona del mundo en Dubái en distancia Classic y Tove fue segunda. Y hoy vemos aquí en Canfranc ese mismo duelo, pero en la distancia short trail. O sea que bueno, va a ser la verdad que muy interesante.
Es curioso y bonito, ¿no? También ver que la gente de alguna manera pues progresa. Oye, quiero arrojar un poquito más de información repasando lo que tenemos en el YouTube. Dice el San Martín que, claro, después de ver lo que ha pasado con Tove, dice Tove, victoria o epitafio, todo o nada. Y pone aquí un emoticono de estos de pues una especie de bomba, ¿no? Irene Rico, que dice María Fuentes, estamos contigo. También muchos saludos desde Argentina, desde Brasil, Doni Esteves, Ana Flores, desde Argentina, Claudio Villarreal. Por cierto, Susana Godoy nos decía muy bien que ya lo dijeron ayer los suizos en sus redes sociales que no iban a participar. También saludamos a la gente de México, es José Miguel, Franz Guerra, adelante Bolivia. También saludamos a Cristian Alonso Orrega, que dice, ya llevan casi 30 minutos. Pues bueno, Cristian, buenos días. Vamos Nacho Reyes, carajo, desde Argentina. Vamos Portugal, es Dani Méndez y también Mariachi. Y por cierto, hay apuntes también acerca de los orientadores, es José Luis Juan, otro de los entendidos de orientación. Dice Antoñico, fue campeón del mundo de orientación en categorías inferiores y su hábitat de entrenamiento evidentemente es la montaña, por eso se adaptan tan bien y tan rápidamente al trail. Pues bueno, gracias también por esos apuntes, José Luis, evidentemente. También Joe Delta dice, buenos días, ¿cómo van los españoles? Me acabo de conectar. Pues bueno, esta pregunta aprovecho para decir que también podemos seguir la carrera evidentemente en el streaming, como estáis haciendo, y también podéis tener los controles de paso que tenemos a través de Tempo Finito. Por cierto, Saila López dice, mucha suerte a nuestro equipo español, no caídas ni lesiones, dar lo mejor de cada uno y que la suerte nos acompañe y consigan subirse al cajón. Más saludos desde Alicante, los gemelos, desde Colombia, Paola, y también Fernández desde Brasil.
Pues nada, estamos ahí viendo a Tove, que va en ese grupo con esos corredores y bueno, en un ratito estaremos en el primer punto de control.
Sí, se estima que los corredores, los primeros corredores lleguen a la Moleta pues en torno a 1 hora de carrera, más o menos. Así que bueno, todavía estarán a mitad de esa subida, muy metidos en el bosque. Al final de esta zona de bosque llegan a lo que se llama la pista del Carretón, que es una pista que justo va a ser el punto en el que mañana en la Long Trail los corredores de la Ultra se lleguen a esa subida también a la Moleta que hacen, pero suben por el Valle de Ip y llegan, por así decirlo, una subida un poquito más larga, pero más suave, hasta esa pala final de subida a la Moleta, esos últimos, desde el Carretón, esos últimos 500 metros de nivel positivo que son muy, muy, muy duros. Y a partir de ahí, de esa pista del Carretón, pues la pendiente sí que se incrementa, empezamos a llegar a un terreno pues muy, muy rocoso, muy agreste, con muchísima pendiente, y ahí seguramente que veremos a los corredores, podremos ver bastante trazado de corredores hasta que hagan cima en la Moleta, o sea que bueno, esperemos poder disfrutar de esas imágenes, porque con el día que tenemos hoy tan bueno en Canfranc, en este valle, que podamos ver todo.
Si queréis puedo lanzar también otra pregunta que nos estaban comentando en redes sociales. Por cierto, he visto tu comentario también, Pablo Villalobos, que dice, Luis Hernando, gané la carrera en 2016, creo que me la conozco.
Sí, es que me he equivocado al decir el valle por el que baja.
Pues tampoco pasa nada.
Aquí estamos a la que saltan, no se puede uno...
Sí. Bueno, pero es interesante que estéis pendientes y que nos ayudéis, ¿no? También para poder hacer una retransmisión, pues bueno, lo más rica posible. También vamos Portugal, vamos Bruno Silva, es Daniel Ventura, y por cierto, dice lo siguiente, Vicet 10, Estián no estará al nivel porque veis de esperar que ahora no haga trampas. Está de vuelta, pero hay que decir el por qué está de vuelta. Bueno, pues al final fue sancionado, evidentemente ha pasado su...
Sí, pero no tengo claro, eso sí,
sí
voy a comentar si al final le han levantado la sanción, porque ya sabéis que hubo ahí una reclamación por su parte, hubo una apelación, por así decirlo, a todo el proceso de sanción, y no sé si realmente finalmente se le levantó la sanción o se le redujo, pero bueno, sí que ha estado, por así decirlo, fuera de carreras por esa sanción, por ese positivo durante varios meses, y bueno, desde el principio de este año creo que ya sí que ha podido competir y le tenemos aquí en el Mundial de Vuelta.
Dos cosillas más rápidamente. Tony Carbajo dice, ¿cuántos controles antidoping habrá? ¿Top 10 y aleatorios? Es la pregunta.
Pues
¿vale?
Eso habría que preguntárselo a...
¿Hay controles antidoping?
Sí, hay controles.
A verlos, haylos.
Ayer en la charla técnica, evidentemente, estuvieron hablando largo y tendido acerca de control antidoping, y es así. No tenemos el dato exacto a cuántos ni de qué manera, pero sí que es cierto que una vez pasen en línea de meta, pues bueno, a los que tengan que hacer el control antidoping los van a coger, se los van a retirar y los tendrán allí.
Sí, además hubo un momento gracioso.
Sí, hubo risas.
Porque hubo una pregunta de alguna persona que estaba en la reunión, que dijo que cuánto se tardaba en hacer el control. El responsable pues dijo, bueno, pues depende de lo que tarde el atleta en rellenar el bote, claro. Puede ser 20 minutos o puede ser 6 horas.
Puede ser la primera de cambio. Por cierto, otro apunte de José Luis Juan, dice, el recorrido no es tan técnico como dicen, a Manu Merilla se va bien, pero a otros corredores les va mejor, son bajadas muy rápidas, y esto es una realidad, que hay algunas bajadas y algunos segmentos donde el que es corredor, que le puede meter gas, va ahí, bueno, a marcar la diferencia y a ganar algún que otro minuto, evidentemente.
Sí, pero por ejemplo esta primera bajada cuando lleguen a la moleta, si es una bajada muy técnica, está claro que se puede ir rápido, si todos estos corredores, estamos hablando de los mejores corredores del mundo, van rápido, pero bueno, pues puede tener uno sus sustos y hay que saber no solo ir rápido, sino también no desgastarse, ¿no? Porque al final en una bajada, a lo mejor en pruebas más cortas, uno puede ser capaz de ir muy rápido en terrenos ahí más o menos complejos, pero aquí en una prueba ya como la short trail, que estamos hablando de casi 5 horas de carrera para los chicos, para los primeros corredores masculinos, y cerca de las 5 horas y pico, 6 para las mujeres, pues hay que saber reservar energía, porque si no, no es lo mismo ir rápido si uno va dejándose la vida y totalmente desarbolado, que poder gestionar una bajada técnica con bastante soltura y sin tener que hacer sobreesfuerzos, ¿no?
Y sobre todo en esas 122 curvas finales, ¿no? Que hay que recordar que si se ha forzado mucho, al final eso pasa factura, ¿no? Porque lo podíamos ver, ¿no? Tampoco puedes bajar a lo bonzo, porque es verdad que son curvas muy, muy cerradas. Y bueno, ya nos comentaban algún corredor que no te permite correr quizás todo lo rápido que podrías, sino que tienes que ir de alguna manera un poco...
Son curvas muy cerradas, a lo mejor no es técnico, normalmente los comentarios que veremos en el chat es que pues esa bajada no es técnica, está claro que no es técnica porque es un sendero bastante limpio, aunque tiene sus zonas de roca, de raíces. Hay veces que vas por esas construcciones de piedra, esos muros que se han hecho para construir esa barrera natural, ese bosque para proteger lo que es Canfranc y su estación de los aludes y de la nieve, y en ese aspecto no es técnico, pero claro, tener que estar constantemente frenando, acelerando a nivel de esfuerzo, y al final de la carrera pues no es fácil de gestionar, porque al final cualquier pequeño patinazo, puede haber un esguince, una caída, bueno, es fácil que haya cualquier incidente en esa bajada.
A mí me gustaría cambiar de tercio y abrir otro melón. Creo que sería la tercera clasificada, la que estamos viendo ahora mismo en pantalla. No sé si vosotros la estáis pescando, yo ahora mismo no la diferencio. Con lo cual vamos a estar también pendientes a ver de quién se trata, si podemos también divisar.
Sí, podemos ver su dorsal y podemos ver a qué atleta se trata, porque creo que es la atleta que va en tercera posición detrás de la checa.
Ay, no caigo. Bueno, mira, abro el melón mientras tanto. Estamos también pendientes de esa tercera plaza. Abro el melón de corredor profesional o no profesional, los que han tenido más tiempo para poder preparar el campeonato. Hay mucha gente de la selección española que ha estado varias semanas in situ. Desde fuera, evidentemente, mucha gente lo que dice, oye, qué manera, qué seriedad y qué compromiso. Claro, Evidentemente, uno decide dedicarse al mundo del trail, tiene el tiempo suficiente para poder estar aquí X semanas, esfuerzo económico evidentemente por parte del corredor y luego hay otra parte que es la del corredor que, bueno, es un corredor élite, pero que evidentemente tiene su faena, tiene su labor y que al final, bueno, tampoco dispone de familia, tiempo suficiente para poder dedicar X semanas. Todos mis respetos para unos y para otros, evidentemente,
Sí,
y cada uno hace lo que puede, ¿no? Pero aquellos que han tenido la oportunidad de estar in situ, desde fuera, evidentemente, como decía, tiene todo como un tono de decir, bueno, vamos a por ello. Se han dejado carreras, evidentemente, importantes y destacadas en estas fechas para poder llegar a este Campeonato del Mundo en plenas facultades y decir, chapó. O sea, que para mí también tiene eso una especial, bueno, de alguna manera remarcado, ¿no? Y por otra parte, la gente que no tiene la disposición de tiempo por trabajo, familia y demás, pues bueno, ¿qué habrá hecho y cómo habrá gestionado para poder de alguna manera, pues bueno, llegar en qué condición a este Campeonato del Mundo que también tiene lo suyo?
Bueno, final... pues como dices, Jaime, hay bastantes situaciones diferentes y bueno, seguro que cada uno podemos comentar luego un poco, yo creo, las que tenemos ahí todos en mente.
Bueno, vamos en nada a dar paso a uno de los vídeos que tenemos preparado para todos vosotros en cuando son las 8:42 minutos.
Bueno, Alex, ¿dónde estamos?
Bueno, pues estamos en lo que es el inicio de la subida al carretón, una subida que se sube hasta la Moleta por este camino que luego detallaremos un poquito más.
Vale. Los datos técnicos míos, que para eso me los he estudiado. Estamos en el kilómetro 1 de la maratón, nos encontramos a unos 1.200 metros aproximadamente y empieza un segmento de 5 kilómetros y medio.
Te lo has estudiado bien,
Te lo has estudiado. Ahora te toca a ti que expliques un poquito cuáles son las características del terreno.
Bueno, pues el sendero, como veis, al principio es bastante cómodo, bastante fácil, corrible, sobre todo para los primeros de esta short trail, y luego poco a poco se va inclinando cada vez más hasta que llegamos al Monte Larrón y al Carretón, y a partir de ahí, en poco más de 1 kilómetro, subirán casi 500 metros de desnivel positivo para llegar a la cima de la Moleta. Allí, el que pueda, el que le dé el aliento, ¿no?, que eche un vistazo a todas las vistas de Collanada del Valle de Izas, y directamente a bajar a Izas, ¿no? Una bajada bastante divertida además.
Y que disfruten, ¿no? Porque para eso han tenido que subir una zona que has dicho Carretón.
Carretón.
¿Por qué se llama Carretón?
Pues porque aquí en los años 60 construyeron una central de bombeo y hay 2 puntos, un embalse abajo y un reembalse en el Ibón de Ib. Es una central hidroeléctrica de bombeo con mayor desnivel de Europa que tiene y salva casi 1000 metros de desnivel y con eso, pues oye, generamos luz para tener para los usos, diferentes usos.
So, Juno, that was perfect timing for us because he gave us the chance to find a bit more dirt on Christina. And actually, Greg voted in the chat, like, there's a lot of people who have a lot of expertise, are tuning in, obviously, the live and sharing their information. And she was world champion, indeed, in 2019 in Argentina. So it's not like she's coming out of nowhere.
No, exactly.
What else did you have?
Well, look, ran Suzana this year, placed top 20. Yeah, so you know, we know she's got the speed. Yeah, there we go, confirmation.
Yep.
Third woman on the course.
Well, the speed and the ability mentally to be finding herself at the front and not have an issue with that. Sometimes with athletes, if they haven't, you know, fully broken onto the world stage, it can be a little bit intimidating to find yourself like in podium position and you're starting to have conversation in your head. It's like, oh, do I belong here? Should I be there? And so the fact that she's already been world champion, she's going to be extremely confident and will be willing to chase hard to possibly even move up further in the rankings. But she's not here by accident, which is great to see. She will be running within herself, and I was a bit worried for a cam runner because there's a bit of a drop on the right-hand side here, and I saw him getting off trail. But yeah, there we go. I think we might be transitioning. There we go. Oh, look at that.
Okay, I wanted to double check. So Christina ran yesterday. She finished 20th in the uphill. So,
oh wow!
Yeah,
so
yeah.
She did dust off the engine, and now it's gonna be another even back-to-back.
Yeah,
Could we talk about like overcompensating?
That's impressive. Yeah. Well, I think the good thing about yesterday's race, all uphill,
Yep.
no real muscle damage, but for sure there's bound to be fatigue in the legs.
So here we have. So is this a drone or a fixed camera?
I think it's a fixed cam, but
Fixed cam. So I can't even. Can you see the trail? I don't know if we're just here looking at the scenery or.
maybe there's a kind of a just around the trees in the middle of shot, but now they'll be out into the sunlight pretty soon, and
It's good to see like a little bit of an inversion starting to form. But I would say for 70% of the course, they're going to be above that, and that's probably going to dissipate later in the morning. But yes, now we're flying high.
there we go, La Moleta under 0 degrees at the top there.
It's going to be freezing temperature.
But the nice thing about this morning, very little wind. You know, 5 kilometers or less is, for us is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll be loving the conditions. I'm not sure if people were more scared about having it too hot or too cold, but I think we might be in the Goldilocks zone here. And
Yes.
you know, it really is great conditions for running.
Yeah. Because overheating is a far bigger challenge for runners than actually cold temperatures. Because cold, you can always wear layers. We've seen runners. Fred Tranchant at the start had a buff from the bottom of his neck all the way up to over his head. There's quite a few things that can be done. But yeah, when it's hot, there's only so many layers you can peel off.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love this shot actually because it really shows you how high we are as they're climbing up. I mean, they've been climbing now for 47 minutes without a break. Apart from that, well, let's give them a minute for that first downhill section, but on the road. But 45-minute climb continuous, and they're still going up. And in fact, they haven't got to the trickiest section either, which is the rockiest section as they get out onto more of like a scree area.
And again, this is a pretty hard way to kick off this course because basically this is the longest uphill, sustained uphill, and then the longest sustained downhill. And after that, you're only basically 16 Ks into the 45K race.
Yeah. At the end of the up and down,
1,400 up and over almost 1,200 down.
Yeah.
Aha, there we go. Andrew Blanes has been cut up. Stian is following right behind. Is it Davide?
Yeah, Davide Magnini in third place. Yes.
Manuel Merias here. So Spain's got 2 runners in there. Followed Will de Pose, Fred Tranchant, and then rounding up. Is that still Eli?
Yeah, it's got to be with those long sleeves.
Same. Eli could have done extremely well. Not to take anything away from what he can do today, but he's ran CCC 3 weeks ago, and he actually had to go to the well a little bit for that race because he ended up overheating. We were talking about that, and so having 100K in your legs, not ideal to bring your best performance, but it's good to see him right up there so far, and he's got immense talent. And coming from triathlon, he was used to training 35 plus hours a week. And so he's got the volume, and who knows? I mean, he is in perfect position here with the leaders.
Oh, absolutely. The one person who's always looking to run whenever he can is Davide.
Yeah, and so thank you, Davide, right now, because I was saying, and now he's making me lie again because I said he wasn't going to hike a single step, and there he is.
Yeah, I think it's getting so steep, and they know it's so long that they can't afford. They can't afford to put too much out there right at the start. And Davide's now looking. He's now the leader, so he's got to look up the course and he's got to do the navigation as well.
Yes.
Because there'll be plenty of points here where, because of the spacing of the flags.
Fred Tranchant, extremely smart. Another ex-orienteering athlete. So here, orienteering roles both in the men's and the women's actually. And yeah, Fred knows how to skip every extra centimeter on that course to get the tightest possible line.
Yeah, and it's when you're following, you don't have to worry about that. And you can, if somebody makes a mistake who's leading out there, they can react to that and they can take the shorter way. So again, saving every meter of distance possible. And so we've got two with poles, two without. It's going to be interesting to see how that benefits.
Yeah, and this is the beauty of it, is that even though back in the days, a 45K was admitted that you don't need poles, but now with such hard courses, like, it does make a difference. However, it's not a given. It's like, oh, okay, there's tough climbs and descent, I need to take poles. It's like, no, if you're not familiar with it, if you're not comfortable with it, this is not going to serve you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was definitely falling into that not comfortable category. It's if you want to use poles efficiently, you've got to train for it. We do have a lot of people with experience in ski mountaineering, and so from a young age, they are used to using poles and getting the benefit with the energy from your arms going directly into the ground. But over the years, I think there's been a bit more, I would say, a transition with, as you go longer and longer, the importance of poles becomes more and more. It becomes way more important.
Yeah. And here we're talking about overheating as well. It's good to see Eli sporting the Nike Radical Airflow, because Eli is a Terex athlete as a sponsored athlete, but Nike sponsoring the national team, he's got access to that kit, and it does cross over, and obviously that shirt's been made famous at Western States for a shirt that cools you down. And so in the later stages, obviously not now, as you were saying, freezing temperature at the top, but it will be interesting to see how high the temperature gets and if that becomes an advantage.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. Look how technical it is. It's like straight up the hill in the field. This is great, because then it will have, today we will have a winner that has all the skills, both the runner.
We're here with the short trail men race, and one of the main favorites, Mr. Davide Magnini from La Squadra Azzurra. Benvenuto, welcome.
Nice to meet you. And thank you to host me here at this nice event.
Well, Davide, what do you think about racing in Spain? Because I do know, I was there, that it's not the first fight for you in Spain. You had a wonderful fight, which I don't think many Spaniards will ever forget. When was that and how was that?
Yeah, for sure, racing in Spain is always an amazing event, because trail running in Spain is so famous. The crowd is so warm and so big when you race in Spain in trail running, and for sure my best performance in Spain was for sure the Gama in 22, when I fought all the race long with Kilian, so with the king of trail running, with the superstar from Spain, and I was honored to fight all the race with Kilian and finish second in the Gama with a record time was an honor and a big achievement for me. So I was really happy, and it will be something unforgettable for me.
Unforgettable for us also, Davide. Now, as for your personal expectations for this short trail world championship, how would you say? Would you say gold, podium, top 5, top 10? Because you do have something that ages, no?
Yes, for sure the preparation for this World Championship was not the best. I suffered of a small inflammation at the beginning of August, so I had to stop running for 2 weeks and then coming back to run slowly. And lately the feelings are better and better every day, so I hope and I yeah, I'm comfortable with this, and I hope that I will be able to finish the race at least, because it will be tough. It will be a really long race for a short trail. I think about 5 hours of racing. So for me, it will be also the longest race since a while, since my big injury in 23, and I hope to be able to finish this big race.
And now, in the last 5 seconds, you will be fighting for the team. What do you expect l'Italia, la squadra azzurra, to achieve? Is it a podium? Is it a top 5? Is it?
We are here for the gold, for sure. The team is warm, the team is ready, and we have really good competitors. So the goal for sure is the gold medal.
Bravissimo Davide, veramente un piacere.
Look, we're okay. We're back there talking to Davide Magnini, currently in second.
Dia. Orlando, consegues ouvir-me?
Sim. Sim.
Ok. Eu vou ver se temos a confirmação de que realmente lá em casa nos conseguem ouvir aqui. As condições aqui de Canfranc não são as melhores, aliás, nada boas. Nós estamos aqui na parte exterior da estação e temos aqui uma tenda montada, portanto, estão 4 graus a esta hora. Está um frio de rachar. Mas vamos tentar aqui fazer aqui a emissão em língua portuguesa, né? E temos aqui a ajuda do Orlando Duarte, que nos vai também aqui ajudar aqui até ele poder ajudar aqui nos comentários. E vamos continuar aqui a receber imagens da organização, da transmissão que eles estão a fazer aqui nesta prova do Short Trail. E vamos também ter imagens no trilho, a meio. Vai estar também o Moisés e o Clovis a filmar ali numa passagem que eles vão fazer por volta dos 30 km. E vamos aguardar que eles consigam também captar imagens dos nossos portugueses a passar ali naquele ponto. Então há de me dizer aí, porque eu já cancelei o som deles e mesmo assim o som está a entrar, não é?
Fred Tranchant, who's taking the lead.
Ok. Continuas a ouvir o som, não é? Continuas a ouvir o som deles, não é? Não consegues ouvir a nossa voz? Estou. Oh, estou. Orlando, consegues ouvir-me? Sonas, continuas a ouvir o som, não continuas?
Magnini, otro de los favoritos de un corredor espectacular, y se ha puesto rápidamente ahí en cabeza de ese poco seguidor de nuestro Andreu Blanes, pues para dar la carrera en ese tramo que sabía que iba a ser. De hecho, lo que es la que es importante. Hay todo ese esfuerzo en esta subida, pero vemos a todos corriendo. Se pista que ya pica bastante para arriba, y en ese sendero que vemos también hace que ahí llevará hasta la cota, hasta los 1500 metros. Bueno, mira, una cosa podría ser hacerlo ayer, bueno, no pasa de ojo con el equipo italiano, como bien
como bien nos avisaban.
Mas aqui não me sai o som.
Mas eu ouvi tu a dizer aqui, Suzana, continuas a ouvir o som, não continuas? Entrei, lembras-te aqui a entrar e voltar a ver. E a sair e voltar a entrar?
Tu, olha, consegues ouvir-me? Agora há de ver se me ouves e me vês bem aí na página do YouTube. Sim, sim. Sim. Sim, sim. Sim. É, mas o som não chega aqui em boas condições. O teu som. Chega aqui em boas condições. O teu som. Sim, mas eu já te ouço muito bem. Ao bocado, quando estavas a falar, eu consegui perceber-te aqui no direto. É, qualquer coisa aí no teu microfone que o teu som não chega aqui em condições. Chega aqui em condições. Espera um bocadinho, Orlando.
And Stian also was, to my understanding, still in the third place in this area.
Yeah, and actually, we haven't talked much about, but Sylvain Cachard, I have on my results over the top that he's in a good position as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's he's always one we can count on, and
Soy Jorge, soy de aquí de Canfranc. Nací en 1965 y me dedico, entre otras cosas, a enseñar diferentes recursos de patrimonio cultural de aquí, del Valle de Canfranc y de la localidad de Canfranc. Estamos al lado del puente de abajo, el puente del cementerio también, o últimamente conocido como puente de los peregrinos, porque por aquí pasa el Camino de Santiago. Estamos en la entrada de Canfranc. Canfranc, la vieja villa de Canfranc, que es un poquito el origen de todo lo que vamos a ver después, que es Canfranc Estación, donde se ubica la estación internacional. Canfranc ha sido siempre una localidad muy singular. El propio nombre de Canfranc significa campo franco, lugar libre de impuestos. Canfranc es un poco, todo el valle de Canfranc viene determinado por la existencia del puerto de Somport. El puerto de Somport está a pocos kilómetros de aquí, nos comunica con Francia y es el lugar más bajo, el lugar de paso más bajo, más accesible, más transitable, tanto en verano como en invierno, de todo el macizo central de los Pirineos. La existencia de este paso, el sumus portu romano, es lo que va a determinar un poco toda la historia del valle. En tiempos de paz, gran comunicación, mucha relación entre ambas vertientes del Pirineo, el Valle de Aspe y el Valle de Canfranc, y en tiempos de guerra, pues lógicamente, pues fortificaciones militares y lugares de control de todas las épocas. Canfranc es un lugar que nace como control, como puesto de control militar y control de aduanas, control de mercancías. Decíamos, es el macizo central de los Pirineos, el lugar más accesible de todo el macizo central, y por aquí han transitado siempre infinidad de mercancías. Así continuó siendo después, con la construcción del ferrocarril y en el siglo XXI ya con la inauguración y construcción del túnel carretero de Canfranc. Estamos caminando por la calle principal de Canfranc, por lo que sería la calle mayor, que se llama calle Alvareda de Canfranc. Esta es la villa de Canfranc, es un poco el origen de todo lo que después sería Canfranc Estación, la estación internacional, que es un poco lo que más fama da. Estamos caminando por el camino real, por el camino de Francia, por el camino de Santiago. Canfranc surge a partir de un puesto militar a mis espaldas, en una zona muy estrecha del valle. A la derecha, a mi derecha, tenemos la ladera de la montaña, detrás de las casas, y a mi izquierda, detrás de las casas también, tenemos el río Aragón. Con lo cual, por aquí es la parte más estrecha y es donde al norte se construye una pequeña fortificación militar que sirve como control aduanero y también control militar. A partir de ahí, que luego sería el castillo de Canfranc, se empieza a construir el pueblo con la calle, el pueblo a los dos lados del camino, parcelación gótica, las casas, franjas estrechas y profundas y con las puertas de las casas que dan a la calle. Así es como se va creciendo Canfranc de norte a sur. Es un pueblo muy singular, tiene su gemelo en el Valle de Aspe, que es Urdós, exactamente con el mismo tipo de parcelación y el mismo tipo de arquitectura. Lamentablemente, aquí el 25 de abril de 1944, Canfranc sufre un terrible incendio. Un pueblo grande que llega a tener entre 2.000 y 3.000 almas, acaba quedándose, un pueblo con más de 150 casas, acaba quedándose solamente con 15, aproximadamente unas 15. Es aquí, en este punto donde estamos, donde el fuego, que empieza en este lado, salta al otro lado y a partir de aquí, por ambos lados de la calle Camino, por ambos lados se quema todo el pueblo. 1944 quiere decir que ya existe 4 kilómetros más arriba, en la partida de los Arañones, ya se ha hecho la explanada, ya se ha hecho todo el complejo ferroviario, ya existe la estación de Canfranc. En lugar de reconstruir todo el pueblo, lo que se hace es subir, la gente se sube a vivir arriba, se construyen arriba en los Arañones 2 barrios para albergar a parte de la gente de Canfranc. La capitalidad municipal pasa arriba a los Arañones y aquello pasa a ser Canfranc Estación. A partir de entonces, esta vieja villa de Canfranc sufre un lento proceso de abandono, se revitaliza un poquito a partir de los años 80 y toda la fama y todo el progreso importante y toda el crecimiento importante de población se produce arriba en Canfranc Estación. En 1876 se termina de construir el camino carretero, la carretera que va hasta el Somport y que conecta con la que previamente se había construido desde Francia. urge con la construcción de fuertes militares. Se construyen 4 a lo largo de todo el valle de Canfranc, desde Jaca hasta el Somport. Uno es el Rapitán, justo encima de Jaca. 2 torres de fusileros, de las cuales solamente nos queda una, que aquí en Canfranc la conocemos como la Torreta, y el fuerte de Col de Ladrones, que se construye sobre otro viejo puente que había habido anteriormente, que era el fuerte de Col de Latros. Siglo XIX, para proteger y vigilar la carretera que baja de Francia. Una de las singularidades de Canfranc Estación es la presencia aquí durante mucho tiempo de uno de los grandes arquitectos españoles del siglo XX, Miguel Fisac. Miguel Fisac, gran arquitecto afincado en Madrid, nacido en la población manchega de Daimiel, pasó muchos veranos aquí. Para muchos especialistas es uno de los grandes exponentes de la arquitectura brutalista en España. Miguel Fisac tiene en Canfranc Estación 3 edificaciones seguras y una muy probable. Las 3 seguras son la central de IP, su propia vivienda, que él llamaba El Pajar, y la iglesia que tengo a mis espaldas, la iglesia de Nuestra Señora del Carmen, que es la iglesia parroquial de Canfranc Estación y que fue declarada bien de interés cultural por el Gobierno de Aragón en el año 2007. La 4ª edificación, que su autoría probablemente también es de Miguel Fisac, es la pequeña central de Canal Roya junto a la central de IP. Como hemos ido viendo, el Valle de Canfranc es un valle singular, diferente al resto de valles pirenaicos. Espero que os haya gustado esta pequeña introducción a lo que es el patrimonio de Canfranc, tanto de la villa de Canfranc como de Canfranc Estación. Pretendemos simplemente con esto que os animéis a venir, que lo visitéis, que lo caminéis, que es lo más importante, y que os pueda sorprender. Muchas gracias.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Fantastic to have your company here, joining us on the short trail competition, 44 kilometers with almost 3,700 meters of elevation up and down.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day, an exciting day. And as we had this short video, that was the opportunity for us to kind of get up to speed with everything that was going on and we might have missed up until now. And Jono, you want to start with the women, and then we'll be looking into the classification with the teams.
Yeah, so we're following the live online. I see in the chat there might be some delay or some difficulty back home with updating the screens. But over the top, Tove Alexanderson, no doubt she was over the top, and I think we might have got somebody wrong on that climb as we saw in the forest there, because Anna Plattner from Austria came over in 2nd place. So we're going to have to check for that black headband, aren't we?
Yes.
But definitely Teresa Hukova from Czechia there in 3rd position, and Caroline Kimitai came over the top in 4th position. The next time we're going to pick them up with the splits will be 10 kilometers later at that aid station where we saw Richard Kimbor giving us an update at Canal Royale. So we will see them. We will see the top runners coming through there really soon. I'm guessing. It's not.
Yeah. It should be extremely soon indeed. They were expected to take only 20 minutes. Oh, well, actually, no, it's the next one.
Yeah,
so
it could be within another 10 or 15 minutes or so. So look out for that back home. So Anna Plattner races mostly, I would say, close to home. She hails from Austria, and plenty of wins in her area in Austria and also in Südtirol in the north of Italy.
And she was, did I get that right? Like at the European Champs, 33rd. Let me check again.
Yeah, sure.
At the up down. So she's stepping up in distance.
Yeah, a lot of people are stepping up in distance today, Martin.
Yeah.
Sylvain Cachard was definitely somebody who we've seen a lot on the World Cup mountain running circuit. He's stepping up distances to we'd say the marathon distance or the short trail.
And so in terms of team ranking at the top, in the means, Italy was in 1st, Spain in 2nd, and France in 3rd. So that was your podium, followed by the USA, Switzerland, Canada, Poland, Norway, Japan, Sweden.
On the men's side, right?
On the men's side, yes.
That's correct. Because I'm just scrolling down the list at the top here and just seeing how well packed the USA team is. 4 consecutive runners over the top. Well, firstly led by Helen Helen Mino Faulkner from USA, but then a few places back, there's another 4 US runners with Grayson Murphy, Ruby Lindquist, Jay Mouse, and then Tabor Hemming.
And they're actually, so in the women, it's still Sweden, leading in the team, in the women's team.
Because it's time, isn't it? Time-based, not...
Yeah, it is time-based indeed. So 3:45.10, 3:50.12 is Team USA, and then 3:50.22, so short, 10 seconds back, is Team Spain, and then followed by Czech Republic, Switzerland, France, Canada, Romania, Norway, and rounding up the top 10, Austria.
Yeah, that's going to be super nice to watch as it unfolds, and we're seeing some of the women runners come on that descent, those zigzags. Racing down from the lake there, and my compatriot Caitlin Fielder, she's out there. She's over the top of the climb, and she's pretty good at pacing. So we will keep watching as her race unfolds. But coming off a pretty bad injury out at Western States back in end of June. So yeah, she had quite a brutal injury. It was her first 100-miler, and she had other racing plans after that, but then she wasn't able to do that. But gave herself a little bit more time just to be able to prepare for to concentrate on the World Mountain and Trail Champs. So she was actually a late addition to the New Zealand team for the championships.
So here we're alternating between cameras, but we see that our cam runner is getting ready. And yeah, the heart rate must go up when you know you're going to have the world's best trail runners on your tail. Even though you're in an e-mountain bike, it is never an easy feat.
Yeah, that's as I said, even as we talked about at the aid station, it can be more stressful for the people giving the
on the sidelines
giving the aid, and it's often the runner is the most calm person that comes in, and as long as they know, as long as you're there, that's the most important thing. But,
and here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our team. Our individual men's leader, look at him flow down that trail. Frédéric Tranchant is showing up today in fashion, and exactly the same race kind of situation that he did at the national championship. Took off in the first climb and never ever looked back. And so it is going to be a long race, but he showed that he could hold on for long enough to perform really well. I do wonder what is hanging out of this pack. He has poles, so that's a little bit of a cord from the pole's quiver. I hope it doesn't get caught in a branch, because those little pieces of string don't break, so there's going to be a bit of a oomph. If that gets caught, you can see this hanging out.
Oh yeah, hanging out behind him. You're right. Right. And they're actually as they descend off that first climb, they're coming back into the valley, and they're not actually that far away from the start where they started from. But then they're going to be heading out again as they start the next climb. Very runnable section here too, and good opportunity while it is runnable, not too technical, to take on some fluids.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's good to see him in control, paying attention to himself, drinking and eating, keeping the calories in.
Look like Nancy Hobbs there on the trail for the USA team.
I was like, all eyes on Fred. So Nancy Hobbs has been taking care of Team USA for as long as I remember, really.
Yeah.
The American Trolling Association.
Yeah, very active in, well, actually a long-serving member on the World Mountain Running Association Council. This weekend was also the Congress for the World Mountain Running Association, and a new council was formed with Nancy stepping down and having time to do her pickleball activities.
Ah, there you go. Another pickleball fan. That sport is taking over everything. All right. Could we get a bit of a glimpse on what's happening behind Fred?
But Fred's looking good though, isn't he?
Like, he's just consistent.
He's still got gloves on. Is that now? Would that be for the cold, or because he likes gloves when he's using poles, or?
Well, it was sub-zero up at the top, so now they're dropping down lower in the valley. The sun hasn't hit yet, so I wouldn't be surprised. You just look after yourself, and as you said, it's probably dual purpose. It's like holding on to the branches when you're going to be going down in the trees, So yeah, it does make a lot of sense, and I remember seeing at the start quite a few runners actually with gloves on.
Yeah, definitely makes sense, and arm sleeves as well.
Yep.
You know, because you know,
can easily take them off and
easily
chuck
take
it
off.
at the aid station. All right, so we're gonna get closer to the aid station and see how quick the transition is gonna be. My guess is that Adrien Séguret, in charge of the French team, will be either at the aid station helping out, or here it is. I was going to say or before or after to give the actual information to his runners.
Yeah, and a big help for the bigger teams as well, having more support staff out there on the track. You know, that's huge. You know, talking to the Australian team, for example, 2 managers managing all of the runners. So yeah, they have to make sure that they're at the important places, but when there are friends and family as well, they're also able to be accredited at times to help out.
Put them in strategic places. I mean, because to be fair, like, of course, to have access to these key locations, like actually within the aid station, you need accreditation. But if you can be like 200 meters ahead, and there you don't need any accreditation. Okay, here, no surprise, but it's good to see confirmation. Probably a minute back, Manuel Merias, still here for Team Spain. And he's followed actually quite closely by Stian Angermund.
Okay, so he's got the bamboo poles.
He has indeed. He never leaves them.
Would they be the lightest poles?
Yeah, I mean, they are super lightweight.
And here comes Stian through there, pretty close to that next checkpoint at 16 kilometers. Due to be there any minute now, and of course, the more as you see more and more supporters there, then you can imagine the aid station is pretty close.
Yeah, and it's good. Like Andreu Blanes has almost closed on them. I thought there was going to be a bigger gap, so Andreu has either made an effort or just had a very solid descent to close on Manuel Merias and Stian Angermund, which is exciting. That's what we want to see. Because he had a pretty hot start, and the thought went through my head, like, oh shit, did he go a bit too hot? And then now it's falling back.
Careful, Martin, it's a family show.
I'm going to get cancelled.
Well, we haven't seen Davide Magnini or Daniel Pattis come through yet, so we would expect them to be right in there behind, and also Luca Del Piero coming through as well. So Italian team definitely packing really, really well.
There we go.
Kilometre mark, waiting for these lead runners to come through. Just over here on my left, you can hear right now the cowbells ringing. You can just see Frédéric Tranchand of France running up the side of the trail there, coming around the corner into this long line of aid station support here. The French team just a little bit down further into the trees there. We can't quite get in there with the camera at the moment because of the live stream signal, but we'll just wait just one moment. We'll see him running through any second now. All of the other support crews watching excitedly, as you can hear more cowbell ringing, no doubt, as the second and third placed and fourth placed runners are arriving just a few seconds behind. We've got Stian Angermund, of course, of Norway in second place, the Spanish runner Manuel Merias in third place, and I believe it's Eli Hemming of Team USA in fourth place. The US team already getting ready just at the table behind me for his arrival. So expecting Frédéric Tranchand of France to come flying down this narrow path any moment. He'll be running past all of the different aid stations of all of the other countries as he comes through, and it'll be interesting for all of these other team managers and support crew, of course, to see just how fresh and how strong the lead runners are looking, and they can then tell their own runners when they arrive just how far behind they are. More cowbells ringing over here. There's Stian Angermund just down there. You can see him running past the supporters right behind the Spanish runner. Here comes Frédéric. Allez, allez, allez! Frédéric Tranchand flying past the aid stations, weaving in and out of the tents here. And any moment now, of course, we'll expect to see the second, third and fourth placed runners coming through as well. So much excitement here at the aid station. It's really a first chance to really get a very close-up view of how determined and fast these runners are looking. We just saw Frédéric Tranchon there looking very, very determined, his eyes very focused on trying to get straight down this path as quickly as possible. And it's not that easy. There's a very narrow trail here that the volunteers have been carefully trying to keep protected so that the runners can still make their way past all of this support. More cowbell ringing now down by the trail as we see more runners emerging from the forest. Some of my friends here from Team Hong Kong looking forward to their runners arriving. Gayao, Gayao. They're already excited for their runners arriving. And here comes Stian, one of the most famous faces in the running scene. Stian, great job. Still looking fresh, still looking strong. Lots of support, of course, for Stian back on the world scene here, and right behind him, Manuel from Team Spain. Vámonos! So much support, of course, for the local talent here from the Spanish team, expected to do very well on this course. They know this course very well. The technical nature of this course very suited to them. Another of the Spanish runners flying past. It's getting busier and busier here. The next section, of course, up to La Raca, a very, very steep climb they have to make all the way to the top of the mountain, following in the footsteps of the uphill race yesterday. So these Spanish runners particularly will know this course very well. They know what's coming next. Any moment now, another Italian runner flying past. There's going to be more and more runners coming through, and we're expecting the first runner from Team USA to arrive at this aid station any moment. Eli Hemming expected very shortly. So much excitement here. I'll hand it back to the studio for a moment. I'm sure you guys have lots of extra details you'd like to pass on to explain to the viewers all the differences of what's happening here at the aid station. But as we see more cowbells ringing now, I can see, I believe that might be Rui Ueda of Team Japan down there, leading a pack of what looks to be at least 7 or 8 runners, maybe 10 runners coming up behind this lead group. We can start to venture a little bit further in and see some of the action as the runners are now going to stream down past the flags from the different countries who are all waiting excitedly for their own runners to appear. Some great scenes here as we start to see some of the runners from around the world flying past. Keep it up, one of the top French runners, allez, 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 flying past. Fantastic to see so much talent taking on these mountains and looking so easy and so smooth. So far, I don't think I've seen a single runner looking particularly tired, particularly broken by the challenge that they've just faced, coming up past La Moleta on the left as the sun's just starting to rise over the top of the mountain. It's warming up here now. All of those jackets they were wearing at the start have disappeared. The gloves are off for many of these runners. Now is really action time as they start to head up into La Raca, the big climb to the top of the summit that the uphill runners had to take on yesterday. More than 2,000 meters elevation they'll be when they finally reach the summit just after this aid station. And here we go. Let's move in a little bit to Team USA. Gamateo Ueda from Team Japan, and we can just see just how fast one of the Kiwi runners runs past. More Italian runners, and Eli Hemming in and out, straight out of the aid station. The first of the US runners, just to communicate to you how efficient this operation is for many of the runners coming through. I think Eli was probably there for 10 seconds, would you say, guys? Maybe not even 10 seconds. He didn't change tires, they say. This is really like a Formula One pit stop operation. And I think we're expecting more of the US runners to arrive any moment as well, because they're really bunched together. But I think so far we've seen just how strong these runners are going, many of them running now in groups, I think to support one another really with the pacing as they start to head up into the mountain and keep moving in a pack, trying to bring back the gap that exists between Frédéric at the front of the race from Team France. The first of the Canadian runners coming through now, flying the flag for Team Canada here. And they're expecting 2 more of the runners from Team USA any moment. As we see yet another of the Spanish team flying past. Vámonos! And here we've got 2 of the US runners together. We just squeeze in for a moment. We can just see just how fast this whole operation is. The bottles come out. The bottles go straight back in. A quick refill of the gels.
Just 5 minutes behind from the leading group. The bottles are going back into the bag here. One of the top Venezuelan runners coming through.
Go get him, dog. Go get him. Yeah.
Team Sweden getting good representation here. And that must be the 5th of the Spanish team. I think that makes the entire Spanish team now having passed through checkpoint 3, all in the top 20 or 25 of the men's race, pushing so hard and representing so well the local running community here in Spain, in the Spanish Pyrenees. It's so exciting being here at the checkpoint, still seeing more runners flying past and really understanding now through the live stream just how efficient this checkpoint operation is. There's no expectation here that there's going to be many more men coming until the first female runners arrive, because they'll be here very soon as well. So let's make sure we capture their arrival. We've got more of Team Switzerland arriving, the second Canadian runner coming through. Go Canada, looking very strong. Just starting to say, I would say the running now slightly backing off in terms of the pace from when we saw the leaders. You can see in the faces of the runners who are coming through a little bit more expression of tiredness. They look a little bit more broken by the pace of this race relative to how Frédéric was looking at the front of the pack. He was really flying through this aid station. I can see the runners now starting to take just a little bit longer. You can see one of the Swiss runners over here. I think he's been at the aid station now for probably 2 minutes or so, refueling, as one of his Italian rivals flies through. Keep it up, keep going. You can just see the pace backing off slightly, just a measure of how hard the front of the pace is pushing this race. A lot of the runners in this mid-pack, I think, starting to suffer a little bit more than the ones at the front of the race. Expecting the lead female coming through any moment, so exciting to be here for that, and we'll see how closely packed the women's race is relative to the men's. The estimate, I think, from the support crews here was around a 5-minute gap between the lead male and where we're at right now in the mid-pack. But of course, everybody here keen to keep pushing and keep driving up the next big climb. There's a lot that can change in this early stage of the race. Remember, we're only 16 kilometers into this 45-kilometer race, and there's still plenty of vertical climbing to do. So I'm sure there's a few runners in this mid-pack who are still feeling quite confident that they're pacing this just right, and they're just going to make up that time in the second half of the race. But looking at the way that Frédéric was pushing it at the front of the pack and the way that Eli Hemming was flying through this aid station, I think it's going to be tough for anybody now who's taking 3, 4, 5 minutes of time. John Rayanifa from the Philippines flying through. We just met up with his support crew earlier. He's got a really determined look on his face, and he knows that the first woman, just coming through now from Team Sweden, looking incredibly strong. 2:6.52 on the chart. I need to check what the latest is on the leaderboard to see how big the gap is between herself and the second place female. But Team Sweden then heading up the female race, and she's certainly not looking too tired. It's a very strong performance from her in the first 16 kilometers, not looking like she's in any trouble at all. And there must be at least now, I'd say, a 1 or 2 minute, 3 minute gap between her and the second placed lady in the race. But let's check in now on the latest standings and just see how much that gap is between the lead men and where we're at now in the middle of the race. One of the Ugandan runners coming through now. The first East African runner that we've seen coming through. We've got a 9-minute gap between the lead man now and the runners that we're seeing coming through. Here comes Mike from Team USA. One more chance just to see how speedy these changeovers are. The bottles are coming out, the bottles are going back in, the gels are going into the pockets. The first German runner we're seeing go past. Big smiles there. That's another 20-second, 30-second pit stop from Team USA. And as we mentioned before, we can just look back here to the Swedish team. A little bit more time being taken now as the runners start to load up with extra fuel. And I'm now looking at least a 2-minute gap, 3-minute gap between the front of the women's race and the second place female. So much excitement here at checkpoint 3 at the 16-kilometer mark. I'll hand it back to you guys in the studio.
Well, great job by Richard out there
All
on the
right.
trail. Yeah.
I feel like we were out of a job.
Yeah, no, you did. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks, Richard, for your comments and watching them come through the aid stations. And it's yeah, it's so crucial to fuel up. Some people taking a lot longer than others. We saw Noah Williams taking a bit longer than his teammates to get through there. But you definitely don't want to miss out on your fueling.
And so as you can see here, the ranking go through on your screen. The team ranking so far at the Canal Roya, 16.4 kilometers into the race. Team Spain is for gold. France for another 20 seconds back is in second, and Italy another minute and 20 seconds back. On the third spot of the podium, but the Team USA is actually not too far back either. And then Switzerland in fifth, Canada in sixth, and Poland in fourth. And so we only had seen Tove go through the aid station, but it can't be too long until the rest of our women's come through. So
yeah, lead woman already through the aid station in 33rd position, 34th position overall. So she's really setting setting her stall out. She's really pushing the pace. And as we mentioned earlier, you know, how is that gonna play out in those last climbs? So still plenty of running in front of us.
And there we go, Naomi Lang, ladies and gentlemen, from the UK. I mean, Scotland. If I want to be accurate.
Well, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, if you want to be correct.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna get shot. But exciting to see Naomi after again such a downlink. This is where we said she would deliver our top three women in the downhill based on their skills, and according to just my personal opinion, are Tove Alexandersen, Naomi Lang, and Judith Wieder from Switzerland. Unfortunately, if you weren't with us at the beginning, on that first climb, there was a wasp net that burst out on the runners, and quite a lot of runners got attacked and stung, and that includes Judith Wieder from Switzerland. So last checkpoint, she was fifth, so hopefully she can still move. But here, exciting sighting of Naomi Lang so far delivering, and she looks like she's in control.
Yeah, looking great, isn't she? Yeah, so she's made up plenty of places on that descent.
She has,
yeah,
indeed.
Yeah. And I think it's from Hungary, Sandor Zabo coming through, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I like what I'm seeing, because she's shown that she had wheels on the flat as well, so that she can move through those runnable sections with efficiency. And the fact that she's now currently in second position of the World Championship shows how much she's stepped up her game. She's always been, I remember seeing her 3 years ago, 4 years ago at Sierre now. She didn't have a team. She was traveling through Europe. She was discovering mountain running. Oh, I was around, so I figured I would partake and discover this scene. And look at her now, second place at the minute at the World Championship, and looking extremely smooth once again. Man, those are the stories that we like to see.
Yeah, we met Naomi at the Trofeo Nazigo for the first time, and that's a race with a much shorter descent, mostly climb. So it starts a bit lower in the valley and climbs up to the high point, and then drops back down. But just even on a short descent, she made her impact for sure, coming through the field.
And not to take anything away, obviously, from Naomi, the gap at this aid station between first and second is going to be probably unheard of in a World Championship, because we're going to be talking several minutes between first and second. And so it looks like, at least as of now, Tove Anderson has a bit killed the game. There's not much suspense left for gold. As much as we did call it before the start that Tove on that kind of terrain, and when she actually puts her mind and body through it, she focuses on that goal. She is at a whole other level. It's awesome to see her deliver today.
Yeah, so strong, and yeah, she's really set it out. We did talk a lot about the course already, but the technical nature of the course is definitely suiting her today. And even on the runnable sections, she looks super focused. It was so funny seeing our men's leader coming through the aid station. I was worried for Richard that he was going to get bowled over. Frederick Tronchard coming through in first position looked so focused. Whereas contrasting with Stian Angermund in second position, he was full of smiles coming out of the aid station.
And you're right to point this out. Like coming into the aid station, Manuel Merias was in second, and obviously Stian had a better transition and came out of the aid station in second place. So there's been here a pass that took place. And so that's something to keep in mind, because whoever has fast transitions at the aid station is 3 seconds that you make on your competition.
Yes, I can see in my screen.
6 places, is that right? Where the runners can get.
No, this screen is for
I want to say
the words,
unless we even got it wrong right from the beginning of the climb, because we looked up that name.
I can see. Oh, come here.
Yeah, we did.
So it is Anna Plattner. It was Anna Plattner from the beginning.
Let me see.
Our mistake. So apologies to our friends in Austria.
This is the stream of the in the website. You can see is English, Spanish, and French. You can see online streaming. I'm doing streaming for the Portugal.
Oh, good. Yes. We'll
Okay.
be to Portugal in a few days
Okay.
to hike the coastline.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
No. Yes.
So I'm going to tell Wanda.
Yeah, hometown support, and obviously plenty of support in the aid stations as well. Yeah, Sarah's pretty experienced on
E agora tivemos aqui uns fãs ingleses que estavam à procura aqui de poderem ver online em streaming o Campeonato Mundial de Short Trail, 45 km. Então tive-lhes a dizer que podiam ver essa transmissão através dos canais de YouTube da organização em inglês, espanhol e francês. Ora, vou ver se consigo trazer aqui os resultados.
No sabes qué hacer, si mirar hacia arriba porque ya tocas la cima o darte la vuelta y mirar hacia abajo porque es precioso las vistas que hay acá en Anchu, a toda la zona de Loma Verde, pero lo que realmente les interesa a los espectadores es qué tipo de senderos se van a encontrar aquí los corredores.
Pues sí, pues vienen de la Short Trail, de la carrera de 45 kilómetros, vienen de aquí, de esta zona enfrente nuestro de la pista, del habituamiento asistido. Giram para esse caminho daí arriba e bueno, pues
Enquanto estamos aqui a assistir a mais um vídeo da organização a falar sobre a orografia daqui de Canfranc, e vemos aqui também imagens do uphill do quilómetro vertical, dos 6 km que decorreu ontem. Vamos aqui procurar as classificações e trazer a vocês as classificações dos portugueses. Atualmente temos aqui o Bruno Silva, que vai em primeiro lugar dos atletas portugueses. A seguir o Rui Teixeira. Temos logo de seguida também o Tiago Vieira e o Nuno Campos. Também depois temos o João Ferreira. Das meninas do setor feminino, ainda não tenho aqui informação da classificação do setor feminino, mas estou aqui à procura. Portanto, em primeiro lugar está um francês, o Tranchin Frédéric, depois o Angermond, o Stient, o Manuel Marilhas, temos outro espanhol também em quarto lugar, o Blaines, o Andrew. E na passagem pelo abastecimento, 1h49, passou em Moleta aos 6,6 km em 1h02.
Gracias. Nada. No por esto no. Por las demás cosas, porque sé que os ha costado mucho hacer la reforma para adaptar el baño. Y sé que os habéis gastado mucho dinero para que yo esté a gusto. Y sé que tú has dicho que no a un trabajo que te ofrecían fuera y que te hacía mucha ilusión.
Gracias a ti, mamá. Gracias a ti.
Hay razones que mueven más que el dinero, las personas. Por eso en Ibercaja reinvertimos el 100% de nuestros beneficios en la sociedad. Ibercaja, nos mueves tú.
Here we go, team. You know, it was aid station time for us as well. You know, we're taking advantage of these quick breaks to refill as well. We're going to be here with you all day, so we cannot afford to bonk either.
It's me chomping on a banana, so apologies.
Here they have the local churros as well, like full of sugar. You get a good hit. We're sorted for the next hour.
So I'm in it for the long term, into long haul. You're going for short.
And so, yes,
energy.
yeah. So we saw just before those videos, Naomi Lang come in second position. She was 11 minutes back from Tove Alexandersson in second position. Then Anna Plattner from Austria was in third, plus 13 minutes and 41 seconds. Sarah Alonso in fourth, plus 14:09, and plus 14:31. Kelly McChrystal from Canada is doing excellent at this point. Yeah, really flying the Canadian flag up high in top 5 so far at this short trail world championship. And I don't know, maybe are we going to tune in with Richard? It would be good to see our top 10 maybe women's come through the station, even though the top 5 is most likely gone through already.
Yeah, top 5 in and out, I think, by now.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, what a change with Naomi moving into second place, overtaking Anna Plattner, who looks to be running a super solid race. Sarah Alonso, very experienced in fourth. And, yeah, like you say, Kelly McChrystal, what a great run too. So, yeah, 5 nations in the top 5. So, yeah, it's for sure, the win is not away. It's too early, way too early to say, to make
the
predictions.
The win is not away, but imagine after just over 16 kilometers, 11 minutes different between first and second. The gap Tove has put on her competition is borderline disrespectful.
No, like she's a front runner, and we know that already, and with. You know, and she's an experienced runner. Like she does know what she's doing. So you know, we've got confidence in her.
Here we go, back with the men's leader coming from France. Fred Tranchant is also pushing the pace in the lead. Took advantage of the first descent. Actually, no, he was first at the top. He actually picked up all
a ver o francês na frente.
To clock first at the top of the first climb, Pico de la Moneta. And pulled away in the descent, went through the aid station flying. Excellent transition from the French team there, and now he's back charging again, giving our cam runner a run for his money. That's going to be a tough day in the office. And I mean, we can't have a clear line of sight behind Fred, but nobody's in sight so far. He was being followed by Stian Angermund and Manuel Merias in second and third respectively, coming out of the aid station. But something is happening. Something is happening there. Andreu Blanes was also closing thanks to that long descent, which is also something to keep in mind for the last descent. If Andreu is within reach of some runners, he'll be able to creep up a little bit. And is this the same course as the
uphill?
vertical?
The
uphill, sorry.
I mean, just to give another update, Davide Magnini really slipped back through the field, 13th through the aid station.
So we've seen the first big changes.
Let's hope he didn't take a fall or anything, but
No.
he's dropped back a few places.
And meanwhile, somebody who's gone up by a lot is Sylvain Cachard from France. Again, not really surprisingly, he's a very solid runners, and as much as now we always, when we think Sylvain Cachard is like that young runner, but like it's been the young runner for 5 or 6 years now, so
yeah, you're right.
He's matured a little bit.
yeah, exactly. You know, he burst onto the scene, and he's a lovely runner to watch as well. You know, a tall runner.
One as well. Yep.
Really nice, beautiful, smooth striding runner. Great to see the profile here on the tracks. They're lead men are well into that second climb. They'll be coming over the top and not too far from the next checkpoint as well. So checkpoint number 4 at Pico La Raca, the summit of the uphill race yesterday, at kilometer 21.8. So yeah. And it's almost 6 kilometers since the aid station. They'll be reaching the top, which kind of makes sense because given that the uphill race was 6 kilometers with 990 meters of altitude gain. So yeah, almost 1,000 meters of climb to get to that high point.
And it was interesting to see also, like, they're about 45% into the race. It's almost 2 hours 20 into the race from a time perspective. And before the live, we're talking about the potential finishing time. We're thinking about like 4:50. So that would be about right if they can keep up with that pace, knowing that at this point they would have done a bigger chunk of the whole elevation gain and loss. The last 2 climbs are nowhere near as substantial as the first 2.
Yeah, that's right. You know, so I mean, you could say the course gets. I mean, it definitely does get easier. I would say after the first half is definitely tougher than the second half of the track in terms of elevation and climbing. But of course, you've got all of that fatigue in your legs. So in terms of the overall time, yeah, you know, you could probably say coming up to that 50% point, double the time, and you'd get there pretty close to the overall finishing time. So I think we've got another video coming up from our production team.
All right, this is Mayaja again for the World Mountain Trail Running Championship with a champion, 2 times champion, Mrs. Grayson Murphy, or Miss.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So Grayson has some good news to tell us, but before that, let's see. Grayson, have you raced in Spain before? And if you did, how was your experience? Because you may even be familiar with these trails here.
I actually have raced in Spain before. I raced the Canfranc 16K.
Nós aqui temos agora, enquanto o Maiano está a entrevistar a norte-americana, vamos aqui atualizar aqui as classificações e vemos que temos aqui ainda o francês à frente. Vamos procurar aqui os portugueses. Temos aqui o Bruno Silva, ainda aqui, que ele passou aqui na muleta com 1h09 a 7 minutos, portanto ele tinha 1h09 e o primeiro, o francês, tinha 1h02, portanto aqui 7 minutos de diferença. Logo a seguir tínhamos o Rui Teixeira, passou com 1h11 na muleta, aos 6,6 km. Atualmente o primeiro já passou aos 16,4 km no canal Roya em 1h49. O Stiand 1h50, o Marilhas em também 1h50, a poucos segundos do Stiand. Portanto, vão os dois aqui colados praticamente. E o quarto também, o espanhol Andrew Blaines. Estamos à espera que também o nosso primeiro português, Bruno Silva, passe aqui no canal Roya. Provavelmente até já passou, mas estamos à espera de informações. A seguir temos o Rui Teixeira, o Tiago Vieira, depois temos o Nuno Campos e aqui o João Ferreira, que passou no muleta em 1h15 minutos e 51 segundos. Estamos sempre aqui a atualizar aqui a página, se conseguimos aqui mais informações. No setor feminino temos aqui uma sueca, Alexandersson Tove. Depois temos aqui também algumas atletas europeias, a Suíça, temos aqui uma Áustria, a República Checa, depois aparece aqui a primeira queniana em quarto lugar e a primeira espanhola em quinto. Portanto, temos aqui a primeira mulher portuguesa, a Ana Carolina Oliveira, e logo a seguir Ana Paula Rodrigues. Portanto, 1 minuto de diferença de uma para a outra praticamente. Depois temos aqui a Patrícia Serafim, com 1h34 minutos. Paula Soares, 1h37. Aqui no muleta. A Inês Gomes, 1h47. E para já, no setor feminino é o que temos. Voltamos aqui aos masculinos. Vamos continuar aqui a acompanhar a transmissão inglesa.
It was relatively dangerous running behind you, Jonathan. So it looks like a breakup of the signal here, but we'll be back with you as soon as we can. And yeah, here we are back with you with these stunning shots overlooking Spanish Pyrenees in the Aragon region in the north of Spain. Stian Angermut in third place there, looking great behind Manuel. And so the gaps are starting to open up. Would you say that Frederick Tranchan has kind of set his set himself out now in terms of he's laying down a mark, really trying to break away? I think he might have. I have a great shot here. Looking up, you can see Frederick up there in the distance, about three corners above Manuel and Stian. Fourth place, sorry, as far as we have here on the screen, still Andre Blanes, but we'll update you with a live shot as soon as we can.
Agora temos aqui o Orlando. Orlando, algumas novidades? Consegues ouvir-me?
A big shout out to our camera runner.
Sim, sim, estou a ouvir.
Yep, keeping up.
Yeah, you can see Frederick just there on the ridge line, just above us.
Oh, there we go. They're going to be smelling blood.
It's still a matter of seconds. He hasn't broken away.
And in the meantime, actually, you can see here Stian looking left, try to get an understanding of who's behind and how far they are.
I think he's just looking at the scenery, to be honest.
He could very well be, knowing the character.
Ana Carolina Oliveira e logo a seguir Ana Paula Rodrigues, portanto 1 minuto de diferença de uma para a outra praticamente.
As well, the countryside is. It's famous for having being on.
Estamos aqui a Patrícia Serafim com 1 hora e 34 minutos.
Plenty of pilgrims pass through this area.
Paula Soares, 1 e 37. Aqui no Moleta. A Inês Gomes, 1 hora e 47.
Nelson. Estás-me a ouvir, Nelson?
No setor feminino é o que temos. Voltamos aqui aos masculinos.
Great to see some spectators up there. Actually, a really good spot to watch the race from. This point, because you can see them from a long distance out as they come up the switchbacks.
If you can make your way up there, because that is an honest climb.
Yeah. The spectators have to earn their way as well. This area also known as being a ski area, so the ski stations are used. There's a ski lift just on the other side of the top part of this climb. So often in a way that's how the sport of mountain running really started. 40 years ago, the federation was formed, but the first race is more than 50 years old. And that's how they started. They had the winter season, and then they wanted to figure out something to do in the summer. So why not create a running race? And here we are today with mountain running and trail running combined in a world championship under the umbrella of World Athletics. So it's in a relatively short space of time. Really nice to see how the sport has evolved and is growing.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at even the live coverage, like back back in the day. That last section, it is brutal. And Andrew is making his way up. So the question is now, is he, in what position is he? Because at depth, he would have made a move and passed both Stian and on Manuel Merias. So I'm guessing Andrew Blanes is now running in 4th place and still providing a solid effort. Although, I'm trying to look ahead. Did I catch a blue outfit ahead of Andrew?
Well, if it was definitely Daniel Pattis. Yeah, and the camera was following him for a while, so I think he was up ahead, and the camera now dropping back to take over with Andre Blanes.
And in the meantime, no second was spared. By the time Fred was getting to the top on that runnable section, he was pulling the poles away. They are gone. He's getting nutrition and already into
the aid station.
The aid station right at the summit.
Coming through the next timing check, we are also having some issues with the live timing here.
It's not only you at home,
which is not updating for us. So we are relying on the pictures that you have in front of you as well. And looks like Frederick's been picked up by a bike there. So we'll also have some pictures for you on the descending.
And I wonder if there was crew allowed at this aid station, because he almost didn't look like he stopped. So technically, I mean, this is a checkpoint, but between the checkpoint with like water station provided by the organization and a checkpoint that the team is allowed to be, since, as you can see, there's no car access, maybe the organization decided, like, okay, well, we're going to make it roll for everyone that, you know, up at the top, you cannot have your crew access, just like we saw earlier.
Yeah, the crew access is a little bit more complicated to manage. So I believe this is just a general aid station with the race providing the nutrition. And we talked about it already, about practicing your own nutrition. It can be a little risky picking up something that you're not used to. So possibly runners might just be taking on water.
Yeah. And that might be the only thing that is offered as well. Let's take a look at this, because when we were talking about like the downhill ability of Tove Alexandersson in the women's field, Fred Tranchant is also one of the most skilled runners at this downhill game. And look at him go. Perhaps our camp mountain biker can go to the side and offering us a side view to fully appreciate how much Fred is sending it right now on this descent.
Good idea, Martin. Maybe put the pressure on our camera crew.
Oh, yeah, you know, like, if you don't ask, you don't get. So we'll see.
Yeah, very important though to keep away from the runners. You know, the last thing we want to do, we want to show you the best images we can, but the last thing we want to do is get in the way of the runners themselves. So definitely don't want to have a camera biker in front of a runner on a descent, because they're looking up. They're not looking down at their feet when they're descending. They're looking up 20, 30 meters to see what's coming up in front of them.
Neste momento, nos homens, temos aqui em primeiro lugar a Itália, em segundo lugar a Espanha, depois a França, Estados Unidos, Suíça, Canadá, Polónia, Noruega, Japão, Suécia. E são estas e mais algumas equipas que nós temos aqui em primeiro lugar. E eu estou aqui à procura também dos portugueses. Neste momento estamos em 14º. Vou ver se consigo passar isto mais para cima. Ok. Estamos aqui atrás da Alemanha. Estamos aqui a Grã-Bretanha, Inglaterra, a Argentina, a Alemanha, e temos aqui Portugal em 14º. A equipa portuguesa, tempo 3 horas e 32.
Top 10 picks, fantasy trail, is that what they call it? It's super fun back home to kind of have a vested interest in what the outcome is going to be today. There we go. The dot's going to go up and up and over
and
the top.
Over now. Yep.
Let's see how far Fred. Fred has gone on the descent. So we're exactly, let's say we're exactly at that. Yes, we are. Look, 50%. We're at the halfway point.
Yeah. No, I had the feeling that Fred would probably be a bit further down that slope already.
Yeah, I think it's just picking up at the timing point there.
And who's behind Andreu Blanes at the top of La Raca? It is Sylvain Cachard, ladies and gentlemen, and that's 2 Frenchies in the top 6. Well done.
Deixa eu atualizar o YouTube. E já foi há 1 hora atrás. Já. Tens que atualizar.
Kudos to you, amigo. Because after racing CCC not even a month ago, being still there, and look at him go, still like running at the back end of that steep climb. The man is an absolute machine. And he will certainly be taking advantage of those cooler temperatures because he was struggling with heat and overheating. He had literally cooked himself, and literally at OCC last year on the 50K that he won, but that came at a bit of a price. And he said he had damaged his hypothalamus, believe it or not. I had never heard of that before, but he's been doing tests, and this is what happened. And so any opportunity to race in colder temperature is a godsend for him. So I'm glad to see him still up there and well into the top 10.
Yeah, he definitely is. And looking great. He's definitely somebody who likes to run as much as possible. You know, preferring to hike a little bit less. And here we are now well into the descent. You know, opens up onto the forest road here, onto the wider access road for the ski resorts. And one comment which I heard as well from the athletes is where there's a trail, where there's an easy trail to run, and quite often the course will take you off in some other direction.
Yep.
And here we have they're back onto the single track. But as runners, I think we all love single track a little more than the road.
But look at this, like he's going down the ski field, and that is not a body smooth groomed trail like we're familiar in seeing, especially over in the US. And Fred Tranchant does not seem bothered at all by all these rocks.
Continuamos aqui a ter imagens do primeiro francês na frente. Queria-vos trazer aqui ao ecrã as classificações, mas para já a página das classificações não está operacional.
Such a great human as well, and man, he has talent. He's proven his technical skills in skyrunning. He did the FKT.
Estamos neste momento a acompanhar a Short Trail, 45 km com 3.700, 2.500 e 2.700 de desnível positivo.
And yeah, even at CCC, like he was doing extremely well before I think he missed a water point or something. So I don't know if you guys are seeing this on your screen, but we do have a bit of a overlay, so we're just going to check with the studio to see what's going on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, coming over that second high point, we can give you a quick update. Again, Frédéric Tranchard out in front, Manuel Merilas in second place, and Stian Angermund in third. Daniel Pattis from Italy in fourth, rounding out those first 4 places, and Andre Blanes in fifth. Great to see Sylvain Cachard in the top 10. He's in 6th place, and then Rui Ueda in 7th place for Japan. Eli Hemming in 8th. Luca Del Piero coming through in 9th, and Martin Nilsson from Sweden in 10th. You know, he's had some great results this year as well for Sweden. So not just on the women's side, but also on the men's side.
True.
Yeah, Martin doing the business. He was top 10 at Sierre-Zinal, I think 6th place at Sierre-Zinal this year. And another runner who's not afraid of technical running for sure.
Oh man, I am really impressed by Fred Tranchant right now. The way he's actually pushing every little bit of uphill and then opening up on that very technical section. Because you've got higher grass, you get all these rocks scattered across. Like it's not really an obvious way to run, but like basically his orienteering skills come into play. You can look ahead, your ankles are firmly on the ground, but if they need to roll, they're going to be flexible, and he's going to be flowing with it. It's a masterclass here by the Frenchie, Fred Tranchant.
Yeah, he does look good, doesn't he? You know, and he's
just relaxed and just.
I kind of describe it as kind of skipping over the rocks. You know, he really is. You know, he's not stretching out at all, and he's trying to save his legs.
Exactly. You're taking the word out of my mouth. Like by having such stride, he's reducing the impact on his legs and like basically postponing the moment where he will have blasted his quads.
He's trying to figure out where to go here. Hold on.
Yeah. And great shot from the realization to have a camera on the other side so we could see exactly what's happening as they're taking over from our cam mountain biker. And there he goes, Fredo back on the other side already.
Yeah, any sort of hiccup like that, you want to just try and stay as relaxed as possible. You don't want to have an adrenaline hit because you end up surging ahead and then suddenly you lose a lot of energy.
Or you could just lose your focus and possibly twist an ankle on that technical section. But no, we've got a lot of people here, so either there's road access or we're getting close to the aid station already.
Well, you remember it was only less than 6 kilometers between the. Actually, no, that was to the top, wasn't it? So, our next aid station, next checkpoint is officially quite a ways off. So, the second high point was called Pico La Raca, and the next one we're going to pick them up at in terms of aid station. It would be Candanchu, which is the ski area. Oh, here we go. Well, they're picking up onto the surface that I'm familiar with. So he's actually running. He actually chooses to run on the asphalt, whereas actually you get a little bit more elasticity, a little more bounce in the surface than you do on the shoulder.
Yeah, you definitely want to take the easy route. And as much as, you know, it is not a steep descent. If it was super steep, I suspect Fredo would be on the side to try and have a bit like this 2 mil of give every time you hit the ground, so there's a bit less of an impact. But here, this is a smooth and not super steep downhill, so being on the asphalt absolutely is the better option. And once again, it shows that he's on top of things, and he was also taking advantage of that section to take a bit of a drink as well. Yeah, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, we talked about.
And see, he's actually going back to this a little bit of a softer terrain. Just it's easier on the legs.
Well, the other thing that that I find, when he's not actually on the gravel section on the really side, but the gravel just has a little bit of slip in it.
Yep.
And it's all about energy. So when you're on a harder surface like that, you're putting all your energy into it and getting it back. When you're on a gravel surface, some of that energy is being lost with the slip of as you're running over the loose gravel. So, yeah, I think he's he knows what he's doing.
There we go. From lead man to lead woman, Tove Alexandersson is head down in that climb. Look at her go.
Well, she's over the top. She's coming into the aid station, I think. So yeah, she's finished that. She's done a fantastic climb, and as far as we know, she's still got well over that 11-12 minute lead in front of her. But we'll update you on that as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as we get the split. But so we do have a cam runner on the side. I don't know if we're gonna get footage from that cam runner, just to get a gauge of how hard she's working at the end of that climb.
Well, we need to ask, where's Richard? He's supposed to. Where's our roving?
We should give a jetpack to this guy.
Our roving reporter. Yeah.
He could just fly from one section to the next.
Well, we can't put the pressure on him too much.
So that was a water point, and so she was drinking, emptying her flask. She had it open, refilled because she did stop for a split second there, and
oh my God.
We're in business. That cam runner is gonna have a run of his life to try and keep up with Tove Alexandersson on that descent. Hopefully we get images.
Yeah, officially through that timing point in 2 hours and 46 minutes and 16 seconds, and then we're going to watch for the.
And you see runners around her, so she's only 12 minutes.
Well, she's 28th position overall.
But 12 minutes back from the lead.
Yes, exactly.
So imagine
12 and a half. No, 12. Yeah,
and so
close to 13 minutes. Yeah, 13 minutes. Yeah. This is a stunning pace. You know, and the runners around her, no slugs. You know, David Sinclair, Mattia Tanara.
But wait a minute. Look, who's on the right side of your screen?
Well, here we have Stian.
Is that Stian?
Okay, tell us in the chat who's right.
I mean, for some reason I'm a bit confused, but I don't know why, because it would make total sense to see Stian right there. Ah, yeah, okay, that's him. Yeah, yep. False alarm, my bad. I didn't have the little tick, 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 traditional stride that we know Stian for, but maybe because he's on the road. So it means that he's pulled away a little bit from Manuel Merias. Again, these two gentlemen are really duking it out. And you can see at every turn, Fredo is looking at his watch. He has the course on his watch, and he's making sure that he's not going to miss a single turn, make any mistake. The French national team has been prepared. They've been on the course. They did all the training camps, basically textbook preparation to be able to deliver as high as they can on the day.
Yeah, you could almost say it's almost home course advantage for the French team as well.
Yeah. They certainly have spent enough time to know it like the back of the hand, and it shows. It shows. You know, they're delivering, but I think at the last checkpoint, I can't load the result, but it was Team Italy who, seeing the top runners.
Yeah, and if you're frustrated back at home, yeah, we also have the same
Same
issue with the live timing, not updating as we would all like, but we will update you as soon as we can. And I think we're going to shoot off to a short video clip. Okay. Okay.
Is the cable? Yeah, but we can't see it.
Back with you live. Just having a slight monitor problem here in front of you.
Yep.
So
We're going blind, team. We're going blind. So
we've got Martin on the technical side.
Hopefully the HDMI cable can be fixed, so we do can have a bit of images, because now if we don't have the screen and if we don't have the results, we're not going to have much to provide aside from good old banter. So yes, please bear with us for a second here, and we'll be able to carry on the commentary, and eagerly also waiting for the rest of our ladies to come through the Pico de la Raca at 21.8 kilometers, and see if you can let us know in the chat. Actually, that's going to be a good shout out. Has the gap increased from let's call it 12 minutes, or decreased, and the chasing runners are closing on Tove Alexandersson?
Yeah, look, the way she was, I mean, I think she might have slowed down a little bit on the climbing side of it, just the images we saw her, but as soon as she launched into that descent.
Yes. So let's say the next split after that descent, 100% will increase. Although we saw Naomi Lang in second place. And Naomi, if anyone, she can run downhill as well. So actually, that's going to be a very good indication. And maybe Travis can give us the splits of these top 2 women on that upcoming descent, because that will give us an indication of who is faster and by how much. Because if they're still somehow close-ish to one another, as the race, as we say, finishes with almost a 800-meter descent, well, we could possibly anticipate the race scenario on the back end of that race.
Yeah, and it's just over 6 minutes since Tove came over the top. So yeah, we're still waiting for the second woman to come through that checkpoint, and for now we have 46 men come through that aid station at 21.9 kilometers. I'd also like to shout out one of the other runners on the Spanish team, young runner. We talked about a couple of young runners, but Nico Molina having a great run, really solid in the top 20, running for Spain. So yeah, just saying, just over 6 minutes since Tove came through that aid station. So we would, if things remain as they were at the previous checkpoint, in about 5 minutes, we should be seeing Naomi come through. So we hope to pick her up on the trail. Yeah, fantastic images you guys are seeing at home there. Love seeing those the drone kind of swing around and show us the big high mountains. Highest point on today's course, of course, being 2,000, just under 2,600 meters. Yeah, so that climb was around 1,400 meters. So starting area in Canfranc, 1,200 meters, just a little over, and so almost a 1,400 meter climb right from the get-go. That really sorted out the field. We didn't expect the intervention of bees on the course, but that was unexpected and disappointing.
There is a video out there, and we see the location, and we see the runners like trying to chase them off with their hands, and it actually lasted a long time. And it looked like that nest, that wasp nest, was actually right on the course.
Oof, yeah.
And so for over 5 minutes, like runners were streaming through, and we could see runners before even Tove went through, and then quite long after. So that would make sense. I mean, I would explain why Judith Wieder actually was one of the, let's call it, victims of that very unfortunate incident.
Yeah. And somebody else from the Swiss team that we saw pull out this morning, Maud Matisse. She didn't take the start line. She was on the starting list that we had in the days leading up, but she ran the uphill race yesterday, and obviously decided that that was a race too far for her for this season.
Fair enough. You can certainly appreciate runners trying to look after themselves rather than overdoing it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And here we can see Fred in full force. He knows everything. He was downing either a little bit of a gel, or it looked like a little bit of a flask. So I don't know if this is the good old pickle juice things against cramps, or I know some runners also using ketones. There's so much going on here with nutrition. Look at him stride it out. Like, man, he's hauling. He's not holding back one bit.
Yeah, he's always looking for the next thing. So he was looking up to see where the trail was. He's
pushing every little climb. Like, he's running with a purpose right now.
Yeah, no, he's looking so good. Definitely hard to see him. hard to see him slowing down at this point, but of course, you know, still we're only just over 50% through the track. Oh,
and look at this, Manuel Merias is not even a minute back, and he looks relaxed, also looking after himself with nutrition, pause in one hand. Oh, it's on.
Yeah, but I think definitely he's extended on the descent. We could see them on the earlier parts of the climb. They were just like a few, you know, like 100 meters back. But I think he has extended out a little bit.
And we will see as well at the aid station, because we saw Fred Tranchant, the previous aid station, be extremely efficient in and out. See, he's already got all the stuff he wants to get rid of. He's going to chuck it when he gets to the aid station. But like Manuel Merias had come into the aid station in second, and then he had actually lost time on Stian because he might have taken a bit more time through the aid station. So we'll see as well, coming in and out, the split and how fast these gentlemen go through the aid station. Hopefully we'll have a camera on the inside of the aid station so we can see that unfold. I don't know if our camera runner is going to be able to get in.
Our camera biker, he's ditched his bike and now he
becomes a camera runner.
He's running into the aid station. That's
all right. We're going to have Richard here on the ground. Let's hear it.
Tranchant getting a very quick changeover from his team. Agua con gas, the sparkling water, over the face, a little bit in the mouth, and off he goes. We're moving out of the way. He's coming around looking fresh. Allez, allez! And straight out of the checkpoint, so efficient. Team, you happy with that changeover?
Yes, we are.
Very happy with that. Okay, we're already going to move. If we move around, just pick up the cable here. We're going to move over to Team Spain now. We're expecting Manuel Merias, of course, of Team Spain to come through any moment. You'll start to see how this is all laid out for the runners. They have to navigate their way through this ski resort section with all the different flags for all the different teams laid out. The team from the Philippines again, La Van Filipinas. We're going to come around to the corner where the Spanish team is based. You'll see all of the different runners. Team Spain over here in the corner. Going past the Swedish team, of course, Tove Alexandersson from Team Sweden, expected to still be in the lead in the female race quite comfortably. All of her things prepared for her here. We've got Team Uruguay, Portugal, Team USA already. We saw them at checkpoint 3. Hello again, team. Already preparing for their crew again. And of course, Team Spain, the local runners, expecting Manuel to arrive any moment. Already got the 2 bottles ready for him. He comes through this way, I think. And here he comes, Manuel Merias. And straight in and out. Hasta luego, so fast for Manuel there. The team here laid out everything for the next runners. Of course, you got Manuel's name just here. He's already passed through. So we still have Alain, Pablo, we have Antonio, everybody's equipment. Sara Alonso also all prepared. We've got everything in a suitcase over here. Just come and have a quick check. So organized. Each little compartment in the suitcase for a different runner. Very, very professional operation from Team Spain. Now let's go back and we'll find Stian Angermund from Team Norway, who of course will be coming through next. We'll go back around here. Team Sweden preparing for Tove Alexandersson when she arrives very soon. Have a quick look. Here is Tove's support box, 2 bananas and 3 bottles. That's it.
And shoes. If she breaks her shoes, we have reserved shoes for her here.
Amazing. So Tove's got some spare shoes here for the second half of the race if she needs them. Very professional team, of course, from Team Sweden. We'll come back around. We may see Stian arriving for Team Norway any moment. And here comes Stian coming through the gap here, dropping his bottles, picking up 2 more. This way is Stian. The runners now exiting this base station at the bottom of the ski resort. They'll head straight back up to the mountains. They have 2 big climbs to go, both over 2,000 meters. That's why many of the runners here picking up fresh poles or replacing their poles if one of them may have broken, because they've got 2 very big climbs after this one. The second of the Spanish runners, let's just come around the corner here. Let's just watch the changeover here for the second Spanish. So much drama here in the checkpoint. We've seen the top 5 men now fly through this, I think probably only taking less than a minute to change over their bottles and their fuel before they head back up into the mountain. Very interesting to see the different strategies of the runners, most of them just dropping their things on the floor because of course they have the support crew with them, grabbing the new bottles, grabbing the new gels and straight out of the door. We've seen some runners, they've got backup shoes, they've got backup poles, they've got backup sunglasses, all laid out for them just in case they've had some kind of mechanical problem, if you like, in the first half of the race. But still a long way to go, of course, in this race. We're at the 28-kilometer mark. Just move out of the way for the second of the French runners. He's got a whole bag of goodies that he's carrying out with him in a big Ziploc bag. I think for him, he just grabs the whole bag and then he keeps running. He doesn't even try and organize it in his vest first, just grabs the bag and goes. Another interesting strategy that might save him a very valuable 30 seconds, 40 seconds time on the people ahead of him. So anything that you can do to save time at these checkpoints is increasingly important in these highly competitive World Mountain Trail Running Championship races. And nobody really has the luxury at this level of competition to take a seat, try and calm down, slow down their breathing. This is not the way it works anymore at World Championship level. So really fascinating to be able to get an insight into just how efficient and professional all of these operations are among the elite level performers here in the Candanchu checkpoint 5. We'll go back round and just see who the next runners might be. And we can start to see more and more preparations now from the different support crews. Also interesting just to see the different types of food that's on offer from all the different countries around the world. Say hello to our friends from Team Philippines. We've got a very famous Filipino dish, chicken adobo here. Quite unusual to see that at the checkpoint. We've also got these homemade rice balls. We've got seaweed wrapped around spam and egg. There was some dried mango, I think, at the last checkpoint. We've even got the all-important cup noodle. Top Swedish runner now flying through. So much variety here at these World Championships with special Filipino snacks as well, just to keep everybody happy. Always so interesting and culturally diverse to come to these events and see people from all around the world joining together to take part in these championships. There's Team Sweden just heading out here. Straight out of the door. No need to stop here at the general provisions that are being laid on for any runners who don't have exactly what they need from their team. There's extra support for runners who don't have all of the resources from some of the bigger nations with the bigger team support. So something for everybody here, but really fascinating to see just how much diversity and variety there is among all of these different support options. Also, of course, for anybody who's got some kind of injury, we've got the tape, very important, taping up any muscular problems, any wounds. Even got things like cotton buds for applying the Vaseline. We got band-aids. Really impressive layout. You can have a look over here, even more examples of everybody getting their own special labeled bags with everything they need so that they can move on through as quickly as possible. Lots of drama here in the checkpoint. Of course, it won't be long before the lead female runners come through. We've just seen Team Sweden preparing there for Tove, who was looking so strong in the first half of this race. Just move out of the way. There's lots of people now running around getting ready for their runners to arrive. Just checking the latest standings, of course, on the live tracking as well. Just move out of the way here just slightly. That's Eli Hemming passing through the camera there, the first placed American runner. The top two Italians already through, followed there by the top Polish runner in the race. I think we're now looking at the first Dutch runner coming through. And here's the third Spanish runner coming to his support station. Let's capture this excitement. That's the top three Spanish men in the top 10 of the race. Amazing. I think he picked up 3 bottles, he threw one on the floor and only carried 2 with him. So much drama here at the checkpoint. Let's hand back to you all in the studio.
Fantastic, thank you, Richard, for those great comments out there on the track and the diversity of fueling that we've seen as well.
Super good insights indeed, and seeing the different techniques. I appreciate some of the runners who have worked it out in a way that, okay, basically any pace is better than standing still, and so picking up a Ziploc bag with everything in it, and then even if you walk out of it, you're still moving faster. And I loved, and this is a comment I made to you, Jono, off air, I loved how calm and composed Manuel Merias was going through the aid station. He's chasing less than a couple of minutes back from Fred Tranchant with those long descents coming. I don't think anything is in the bag at this very moment. And then going up the Pico La Laraca, we didn't have images of them, but Sara Alonso was in second position, and then 19 seconds back with Naomi Lang in third, and they both had left behind Anna Platner, who was pointing in fourth, another minute, just over a minute back from them two.
Minute and a half back was Anna from Naomi. So that's the top 4 women coming through the checkpoint up at Pico La Laraca at 22 kilometers. And Sara Alonso running at, I've got it almost 20 minutes. Almost 20 minutes behind Kobe.
Yeah, so you have the answer. So is that Grayson?
No,
I'm not used to seeing her with poles, but
well, actually, yeah, I heard a rumor that she was practicing with poles. So.
I can't see if these are Saucony shoes, but yeah, it does look like Grayson Murphy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, doing a pretty good job with the poles as well. Maybe not. It's one of those things. To use poles properly, you got to put your force down through them and really get the benefit of them. Otherwise, you end up just carrying them around the track.
No, that is not Grayson Murphy.
That's not. No, I wasn't sure.
No. I think those were.
Well, we're going to see her come up through that aid station pretty soon.
Yeah, so she will cluck, and then we'll get a.
Well, we've had Jane Mouse from Team USA come through already. The checkpoint in 5th position, and then Ida Robsam in 6th. So those two together. And then we had a strong start from Kaylee McChrystal from Canada, but she has come through in 7th position through the timing check at the top.
Alex, ¿jugamos?
Claro, siempre.
Venga. Color que predomina el loma verde.
Pues no lo tengo claro, pero...
¿No? El daltónico.
Daltónico, igual, ¿no? El verde, ¿no?
El verde. Estamos en loma verde, kilómetro
29 de la Short Trail.
Nada, ¿cuánto tienen que superar aquí los atletas?
Pues los atletas aquí tienen casi 700 metros positivos, de un poco más de 4 kilómetros y medio o así, y la verdad es que es un sitio, como podéis ver, espectacular. Otro sitio de esos que parece que no se puede pasar, ¿no? Y sin embargo se pasa con bastante facilidad a pesar de la inclinación que tiene. Y la verdad es que, bueno, un sitio que perfecto, de los más bonitos que hay aquí.
Y podemos decir que también es una parte del recorrido que bueno, a pesar de que obviamente hay que salvar un desnivel, que es un
E tu agora, consegues ouvir-me?
permite correr.
Hay trozos de correr
Pois é
que
isso.
podrán correr y la verdad que
Então pronto.
hay zonas técnicas y zonas
Então aí que tu consegues ouvir-me mais diretamente e conseguimos falar por aqui e vou-te pôr online. Aliás, eu também já estou, provavelmente vai sair no YouTube, mas pronto. Isto aqui é tipo uma experiência. Pronto, este programa funciona quase o Google Meet ou o Zoom, e só que aqui dá para pôr vários e consigo buscar o link e pô-lo no OBS e fazer a transmissão, percebes?
la penúltima, que no se les olvida la que viene después.
Efectivamente, donde se puede correr, pero
O Rolando disse que ia sair, tinha que uns compromissos.
Para la siguiente, para Estivillas.
Em relação aqui à página das classificações, pá, isto está off.
Francia, y la verdad que todo aquello es el Parque Nacional de los Pirineos Atlánticos, Parque Francés, y todo lo que venimos pues de toda la zona de Astún, de Canfranc, pues ¿dónde está Alberto?
Pues nada, vámonos para el siguiente punto.
Nos vamos
En
para el
esta
siguiente.
zona van a volar.
Sí, sí.
Okay.
There you go. We're still chewing away.
Yeah, and yeah, as we left you there, we now have 9 women through that top 8 station there. At 22 kilometers, Ruby Lindquist, Team USA in 8th position, and Clementine Geoffrey, if my French is correct, in 9th. So yeah, it's pretty tight actually with those next positions coming in the top 10 and 11.
It's good to see Clementine moving back up because she was in the 30th position, and I mean she was the world champion 2 years ago, and so I was a bit surprised to see her so far back. So at least now she's creeping up in the top 10, and as we saw with the men's, they're about halfway through. So there's still a lot of work that can be done. But when you're thinking she's just gone through the top, and Tove now is like minutes away from the next ace.
Bom dia, Nelson. Consegues ouvir?
Between Tove and the rest of that women's field.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, look.
Então, Hugo, consegues ouvir-me aí?
Sim, sim, bom dia. Está tudo bem?
Domination at the moment in the women's race by Tove Alexanderson. Amazing. Again, as we're seeing the timing at that top checkpoint, now all of a sudden we've got almost 20 women through that top point. So between places 8 and 16, for example, it's really tight up there. Our early leader, actually, Teresa Yoko,
Vocês me ouviram, Nelson?
now running in 10th position, followed closely behind by Maria Fuentes. And we've got Johanna Gelfgren in 12th position, Lucille Germain in 13th, and Denisa Dragomir in 14th. Ikram Rasala 15th, and Maël Mining coming up in 16th position. And one of my top picks actually is now in the 18th place, Patricia Daneda, again a young runner, but
Sim,
she knows
Hugo, chegou agora a tua voz, ouves perfeitamente, mas como há este delay daqui de Canfranc, de Espanha para aí, só te ouço depois, mas ouves perfeitamente. Eu estou a ouvir aqui online no meu telemóvel e só agora mesmo é que chegou a tua voz, não é?
2,000 meters, just under 2,300 meters at the top of the third climb.
Sim,
O
passarmos aqui um
Tiago,
pouco também.
neste momento está a dizer que te está a ouvir perfeitamente.
Sim, passarmos aqui também uma retrospectiva sobre a evolução da prova, não é? Que para quem está a seguir também o streaming em espanhol, em inglês, em francês, está uma transmissão extraordinária. Tu estavas a colocar também a transmissão. Nos homens, acho que todos têm seguido isso, que estamos a entrar nos últimos 15 km, já estamos a menos de 15 km da meta e isto é uma luta enorme pela vitória, porque, por exemplo, o André Blanes, que era quinto, estava a 4 minutos da frente, o Frédéric Tranchan tem liderado a prova desde o início, mas tinha uma diferença de 1 minuto e 43 segundos para o Manu Merilhas aos 28 km em Candanchu, e depois das passagens tinham tido logo no início também, acho que a subida à La Moleta fez a diferença logo no início da prova, e portanto vamos ver agora na parte final, porque essa parte final vamos ver que diferença é que vai fazer também na frente na luta pelo novo campeão do mundo, mas também para quem, acho que há muitos portugueses que são fãs do Stian Angermund e que tem aqui um regresso, já tinha tido um regresso também, por exemplo, em Zé Gama, com o top 10, onde foi nono, se não estou em erro, em Zé Gama, e aqui o Stian Angermund a lutar de novo para ser um dos melhores do mundo. O Daniel Patis estava atrás, o André Blanes depois ainda estava perto dessa luta pelo primeiro lugar. Depois outros nomes bem conhecidos também dos portugueses, como o Luca Del Pero, que já estava a 8 minutos da frente, por isso vamos ver também como é que vai ser essa luta pelo primeiro lugar. Nos portugueses, que é isso também que nos traz aqui um início de prova em que o Bruno Silva, ontem ouvia também algumas palavras do Bruno Silva, a dizer que era preciso arriscar no início. O Bruno Silva colocou-se ali à beira dos 60 primeiros no início, e agora na passagem aos 22 km, que é a última informação que temos dos pontos intermédios dos portugueses, que ainda não passaram aos 28 km, o Rui Teixeira e o Bruno Silva já estavam juntos, com 2 horas e 56, estavam a 23 minutos da frente. Vamos aguardar depois pela passagem aos 28 km, eram os dois primeiros portugueses. Depois, mais atrás, tínhamos o Tiago Vieira e o Nuno Campos, que também estavam praticamente juntos, e o João Ferreira, que estava um pouco mais atrás, passou com 3 horas e 10, o Tiago Vieira e o Nuno Campos com 3 horas e 7, sensivelmente, a 3 minutos mais à frente, e depois tínhamos o Rui Teixeira e o Bruno Silva colocarem-se 11 minutos mais à frente. Ou seja, acho que é um panorama muito idêntico ao panorama que temos visto em Portugal, a nível da ordem dos portugueses. O Bruno Silva e o Rui Teixeira, que têm sido assim nos últimos campeonatos, não estiveram, por exemplo, no campeonato de ultra os dois, teve o Bruno Silva ao ser campeão, mas estiveram no sprint, estiveram no trailer, tem sido assim que têm estado também nos campeonatos nacionais, aqui obviamente que num panorama diferente, um panorama muito mais competitivo a nível mundial, a termos uma excelente prestação dos atletas portugueses, mas que vamos ver agora a parte final. O Rui Teixeira, que tem muita experiência destas provas internacionais noutras vertentes, no corta-mato, na estrada. O Bruno Silva tem a experiência já dos campeonatos do mundo, das provas internacionais que tem feito. Vamos ver agora se também juntos vão também aqui conseguir fazer um bom trabalho de equipa para a segunda parte da prova. Isto para os homens. Nas mulheres, penso que já tinhas falado aqui também dessa evolução da prova, em que a Tuva Alexanderson, que via também ali no chat do streaming em inglês, muita gente a discutir a carreira da Tuva Alexanderson entre a orientação e entre o trail, o que é que se tem feito a aposta certa nos últimos anos. Já agora o Frédéric Tranchan, que é líder nos homens, também é um atleta com um historial enorme na orientação, também com muitas vindas a Portugal, tal como a Tuva Alexanderson. E a Tuva Alexanderson tem estado sempre na orientação, sem nunca abandonar a orientação. É também uma enorme atleta, como sabem, no ski, e que se vai dividindo ao longo do ano entre essas várias vertentes, entre o skyrunning e o trail, mas depois também entre o ski, entre a orientação. Este ano, por exemplo, focou os últimos mundiais muito focados também nas provas de floresta, e é nas provas de floresta, na orientação, que é mais forte. E aqui logo desde o início, logo aos 6,5 km na subida à Moleta, já tinha 5 minutos de avanço para a Sara Alonso. A Sara Alonso tinha a companhia já da Noemi Lang agora nos 22 km, e portanto a Tuva Alexanderson estava, penso que no top 25 da geral entre os homens, e neste momento será difícil só alguém com uma parte final muito forte e algum problema para a Tuva Alexanderson conseguir retirar-lhe a vitória, porque domina a prova desde os primeiros metros. A Sara Alonso, que tinha aqui outra atleta espanhola, outra colega de equipa, que havia muita expectativa no lutar pelos primeiros lugares, que era a Malenosa, pelo que estava a perceber também, penso que abandonou devido a uma queda, e a Sara Alonso estava a 9 minutos da Tuva Alexanderson. Ouvia também no streaming em espanhol os espanhóis a falarem que era muito interessante haver uma chegada ao sprint entre a Sara Alonso e a Tuva Alexanderson. Será complicado isso acontecer com a diferença que tem, mas vamos ver a segunda parte da prova como é que vai ser. As atletas portuguesas, a Ana Carolina Oliveira e a Ana Paula Rodrigues, que eram as duas primeiras portuguesas, mas têm estado muito próximas, passaram juntas aos 16 km no Canal Roya, com 2 horas e 32 minutos, e estavam nessa parte já a 35 minutos da Tuva Alexanderson. Eram as primeiras atletas portuguesas. Depois tinha uma diferença para Patrícia Serafim, que estava por esta altura em 13 minutos aos 16 km. Ana Carolina Oliveira e Ana Paula Rodrigues passaram com 2 horas e 32, e Patrícia Serafim passou depois com 2 horas e 45. Paula Soares passou 7 minutos atrás de Patrícia Serafim. Nos atletas portugueses, Inês Gomes, ainda não tínhamos aqui o registro da passagem no canal Roya. Um excelente início para a Carolina Oliveira e para a Ana Paula Rodrigues, mas aqui o panorama competitivo está muito forte. Estes mundiais estão num panorama muito, muito forte, o que faz com que, se olharmos para a classificação geral dos portugueses, quem está habituado a vê-los nos primeiros lugares, é claro que aqui estamos noutro panorama, mas um excelente início para as atletas portuguesas, e curiosamente um panorama idêntico nas duas primeiras portuguesas e nos dois primeiros portugueses, com o Rui Teixeira e o Bruno Silva juntos, e aqui com a Carolina Oliveira e com a Ana Paula Rodrigues também juntas. Vamos ver se também ajuda, como dizia, esse trabalho de equipa para a segunda parte da prova.
Here we go. Western Hill, Team New Zealand coming into the aid station. I'm glad the man is still standing and running. He was COVID positive last week, so I'm glad he was able to turn it around. Maybe he just gave it a crack and see if we could hold it. Good man.
E entretanto, Nelson, vamos aguardar depois a passagem dos primeiros portugueses nos homens. Temos tido algumas dificuldades também com o acesso às passagens dos pontos intermédios, mas depois vamos aguardar a passagem dos primeiros portugueses aos 28 km. Já tivemos a passagem dos 46 primeiros homens, e vamos aguardar por Bruno Silva e por Rui Teixeira, uma vez que eles aos 22 km tínhamos a passagem dos primeiros atletas portugueses, o Bruno e o Rui, estavam na posição 62 e 63 da geral. Vamos ver se agora conseguem aqui entrar nos 60 primeiros, e ver como vai ser agora a segunda parte da prova, para ver se vão subindo aqui mais umas posições na classificação geral, e tentando entrar depois também nos 50 primeiros da geral, enquanto na frente da corrida, esta última parte da prova vai ser uma parte bem renhida, com Frederic Ranchin, como dizia há pouco, também se vai dividindo entre a orientação e o trail. Vai estando, sempre que aparece no trail, está sempre na luta pelos primeiros lugares. Venceu, por exemplo, no verão, em julho, em Vanosy, essa prova de 32 km, mas já este ano tem estado nos primeiros lugares em muitas provas emblemáticas, os primeiros lugares na Sky Race de Matezines, por exemplo, onde foi quinto. E vamos ver Frederic Ranchin como vai estar agora nesta parte da prova. Manu Meirilhas, um atleta que em provas mais técnicas, mais de difícil progressão, como é em Portugal, como já esteve em Portugal também no Pisão Extreme, por exemplo, nos campeonatos da Europa Skyrunning, mas que a Travessera, que é uma prova marcante para Manuel Meirilhas, que voltou a vencer este ano a Travessera no mês de junho, uma prova em Zé Gama este ano, onde, curiosamente, Andreu Blanes, que foi segundo e que era depois quinto da geral, foi segundo nessa prova de Zé Gama, e onde este ano Manuel Meirilhas foi 19º, esteve no top 20, mas num lugar fora daquele que é o lugar habitual que costumamos ver Manuel Meirilhas. Vamos ver esta parte final. Tiana Garamundo, que já falamos aqui, ele tem estado no regresso à competição depois da paragem, por ter estado suspenso, mas está de regresso também à sua melhor forma, o atleta norueguês. Vamos aqui nesta passagem, nesta entrada, neste abastecimento, onde vamos vendo a entrada dos atletas. Vamos tentar depois também perceber aqui, se conseguimos ver as imagens de alguns atletas portugueses. Já agora, Nelson, penso que tens aí alguns vídeos também dos atletas portugueses pelo percurso. Lançava também esse desafio para daqui a pouco tentares adicionar aí alguns desses vídeos da passagem dos atletas portugueses para conseguirmos depois ter aqui esse registro da passagem da equipa portuguesa, da seleção portuguesa, que fomos falando aqui dos resultados. Depois é também interessante ter esse registro que vamos tentar depois ter também aqui quando tivermos a aproximação à meta, seguir a aproximação à meta para os atletas portugueses, e aí conseguir ver como é que está essa classificação mais perto da meta.
So here again from the body language, you can see that Fredo is still attacking every little bit of climbing, making good use of the poles.
He must be coming up pretty close to another checkpoint. So we saw him at the
Entretanto, Nelson, já tivemos a passagem aos 28 km dos primeiros dois homens, quando nas imagens aqui no streaming vemos de equipamento branco, precisamente Frédéric Ranchin, que falávamos há pouco, continua na liderança, o atleta francês Frédéric Ranchin, que continua líder, e que há pouco víamos, tínhamos essa atualização que Rui Teixeira já passou o Bruno Silva. Rui Teixeira com 3 horas 28:04, Bruno Silva com 3 horas 28:15. Bruno Silva, vamos ver agora essa segunda parte, vai acusar ou não o esforço de ter tentado arriscar um pouco na parte inicial, mas era na posição 60 e 62 da geral, portanto, à beira de entrar no top 60. Vamos ver se agora, na segunda parte da prova, conseguimos ter Rui Teixeira a subir aqui mais posições. Rui Teixeira que como sabem, este ano, para lá das muitas provas que vai fazendo de estrada, tem-se focado nos trilhos, e além de outras vitórias marcantes, como foi logo no início do ano, o Voga Trilho, os abutres, foi depois também no campeonato de sprint, no Caramulo, no campeonato de trail, no Estrela Grande Trail, que fomos vendo o Rui Teixeira a afirmar-se cada vez mais. Isto nos campeonatos nacionais, foi fazendo depois outras provas também na zona norte do país, ele que reside em Amarante. Bruno Silva, que nos pódios do campeonato de sprint e de trail, acabou este ano por ser campeão na Ultra. Bruno Silva, que já tinha estado na segunda posição várias vezes, quase a conseguir a vitória, e este ano a ser vencedor. Vemos as imagens do lado esquerdo da transmissão de Frédéric Ranchin, que, olhando para as imagens, há pouco, antes de me juntar aqui, estava a seguir também o streaming, e parecia-se nas imagens muitas vezes que Frédéric Ranchin tem uma vantagem confortável, mas não é bem assim. A diferença estava bem curta para Manuel Meirilhas, e nestas zonas, em todas as que sejam zonas mais técnicas, como sabemos, Frédéric Ranchin tem muita experiência nas zonas técnicas. Manuel Meirilhas aí acaba por também acabar por estar na sua praia. Vemos aqui uma zona de muita pedra, mas que tem ali um trilho que dá para termos esse trilho que os atletas conseguem fazer de forma rápida. E temos depois também o setor feminino, onde daqui a pouco vamos ver também a diferença que vamos ter de Sara Alonso para a líder Tuva Alexanderson. Elas que vamos depois esperar por essa passagem aos 28 km de prova. Tuve Alexanderson já passou lá. Aguardamos pela aproximação depois de Sara Alonso para ver como está essa diferença. Recordando que nas mulheres, Carolina Oliveira e também Ana Paula Rodrigues eram as melhores portuguesas, mas já vamos falando sobre isso. Entretanto, também vamos pedindo a quem está aqui a seguir estas imagens e a seguir esta cobertura que vamos aqui fazendo para ir também deixando aqui o seu feedback e falando um pouco da forma como está a ver a prova aqui dos atletas portugueses.
But yeah, she'll be now starting to think about, what she needs to do, get in terms of her fueling, and thinking about the next section of the race. Because often on these longer distances, it's more useful to sort of break them down into sections, and just tick them off, not just to think about I'm only halfway through the race, for example. So you just break it down. Okay, I'm completed the first section, and then start to think about the next section of the race.
Nelson, e entretanto, enquanto vamos também aqui seguindo as imagens, fala-nos também como é que está, tu que estás aí em Canfranc, como é que estão as coisas por aí? Fala-nos um pouco como é que estás aí a viver este Campeonato do Mundo e como é que estão as coisas aí por Canfranc.
Yeah, let's see some of those great written flags in the chat. Cheer on Naomi. It's great to see her. Okay, and it looks like we're soon going to come into the aid station with Richard, who's going to give us the lowdown.
We hear some more action here at checkpoint 5 in Candanchu, just over here. Max King, of course, a very well-known figure, and the US team just taking a seat at the checkpoint just shows how things are starting to take their toll on some of the top runners in the race.
Ok, Hugo. Aqui, como sabes, há aqui uma latência bastante grande e só agora estou a ouvir a tua pergunta. É assim,